All right. What happened? You went to sleep in the mead hall,
Kahuna Meat Hall.
and an incident happened there earlier in the night, but everyone seemed to get back on track, and the party continued.
Literally the party.
Yeah. Registered at the guild, the association, and you had a run-in with some street rats and goblins before that. I think that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goblins, rats, guild hall, stable, drinks, zombies, dwarf, Oktoberfest band, bed.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been fun.
It's been eventful. Fuel
Exactly
bad.
too. Oh, so you've taken your long rest, and it's the morning. What would you like to do?
First and foremost, I think we need to drop that ring off. That was technically a job we've been hired to do, so we should do that, I reckon. And then I think we were going to discuss sort of everyone's got like their own little thing I think they were going to run off and do while we're in town.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to my contact, and I think Key said he wanted to work on his pecs. Those things are impressive. Rand, what were you trying to do?
I forgot. I think we have to collect or I have to collect the.
You have to go to the
gold.
bank, don't you, to collect that
Yeah.
gold?
Yeah.
Any thought of what you'll spend it for? And normally I'm all for sharing everything, but at the same time, only one of us has been lugging that barrel around this whole time.
That's okay. I did it so that if it came in handy for us, or if we sold it, we're all family here, right? I think we should share the spoils.
Look, my friend, I'm not going to say no, but I am going to point out one important fact, that it's been 3 seconds and my camera is already frozen.
Camera? What are you even talking about?
I have no idea.
Sorry, I was in my own little world there.
Internal monologue coming out.
Fixed.
Shall we head to the institute then, or was it the?
Yeah, that's where we were going to take that ring, right? The Arcane Institute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember you guys saying the Arcane Institute. I'm quite interested in that place, to be honest. I mean, let's face it, there's some powerful mages there. Ren, is that where was the Arcane Institute where you trained, or was that somewhere else?
I started studying there for knowledge, but then when I realized that I could see the weave of magic, that's when I started studying some magical things. But as I've mentioned before, even though I can see the wave, I'm not exactly able to focus too well. I can learn spells and sometimes cast them successfully, but yeah, it's it could go either way, I guess.
It's still a talent. It's a talent that none of us can do. I can't see the weave. I don't think Sarah can either.
Don't even know what you talk like.
I've heard of the weave, but
Just the wave of magic. I mean, I've seen you.
I can use magic, but I can't see a weave.
Yeah.
I think it's an elvish thing, and maybe being half elvish, maybe it maybe becomes a bit easier in terms of understanding it.
What? This may sound like a stupid question, but what's it look like?
Maybe it's sort of just pass through the air, like maybe colors sometimes. Suppose maybe like a shift in like sort of atmospheric sort of areas, depending.
Interesting. I can't see it, but it might be something to keep an eye out for. You know, it's one of those things we never know. You know, if I don't know what it looks like, I don't know if I'm seeing it.
Yeah. When I've successfully cast a spell before, it's like I feel like I pluck energy through the realm, or is in the realm somehow. And every time I've seen Sarah sort of cast spells, I can kind of, I guess, see it and understand it in some way or form. But yeah, it's
So you can like see more than just like if I was to like apparate, like the actual sort of physicality of it. You can see more than that.
it's more like understanding the concept of it, I guess. But
Is that so you can like by watching it? Does that mean you can learn it?
I think so. It's shaping is another thing. Being able to sort of focus and learn spells that's always been a challenge to me. I mean, I've always, like you said before, being sort of more of a feeling rather than like a knowing. Kind of similar to how I feel when I can do it.
It's an interesting power you've got there. All of us seem to have very odd powers, we'll say. I mean, what Kai does is no mere training. You can't just train yourself to be able to move as quickly as he does and hit as hard as he does. That's
I mean,
something else entirely.
Teleported from those goblins.
That's also not something you can just do with sheer. Look, I mean, we all know that you can train your body to be fairly durable and powerful, but what he's doing is not just simply training. There's something else flowing through his veins or empowering him. I just would never clue what it is. But anyways, this can be talk for another time. I think we've got work to do, and we're burning daylight.
Shall we get breakfast before we go?
Of course.
Yeah. The food here was pretty good last night. I'm up for another meal.
Yeah. Hopefully there's none of that.
Yeah, the ale wasn't.
Yeah.
I said the food was good. I'm not trying to talk about the ale. To avoid me having to move barrels again, Sarah, do you mind ordering breakfast for us today?
Sure.
I think I need to talk to someone about this. I'm maybe I take a class on how to speak to people better.
I'm pretty sure they run those in this like in town. There's pretty much you can do anything in Port Royal if you've got the money for it.
I mean, I don't know how much that would cost. I've only got about 30 gold, but it's something. I think I've got 30 gold. I haven't looked at my purse lately.
Shall we then?
We shall.
We shall.
What are you doing?
Wandering downstairs to get breakfast.
Alright, so you come out of your room. You can see from the balcony it's nowhere near as crowded as it was last night. It's very much cleared out a lot. There might be sporadic groups of people at tables getting something to eat, something to drink. Only a few people at the bar. But you can easily find a table.
I'll wander up to the general bar area where there's a staff member.
Hey, what can I get for you?
Can I just get 3 of your morning breakfasts. Or 4, sorry, 4. There's 4 of us. I can't count. I haven't had a coffee yet.
Yeah, 4 breakfasts. Anything
Yeah.
else?
I guess like I think, what was the juice? Trying to remember what juices everyone liked. I think Aiden wanted pineapple. I think Ren wanted watermelon? I don't know.
Goat's milk.
God.
Just normal milk is fine. Any milk.
Can we get a milk and then a pineapple juice if you've got it, and then just 2 orange juices?
I'm just gonna lean over the bar and go. Ren wanted a goat's milk from a male goat.
What?
No, I didn't.
Just milk. We'll be fine.
We don't really serve milk around here.
Oh, okay. Do you serve juice?
Yeah, we got some juice, but we're not much of a milk
Fair enough.
destination.
Fair enough. Not known for your milk, I understand.
No worries, take a seat, we'll bring it over.
Okay.
Couple minutes pass, food comes out, drinks come out.
Why goat's milk, Ren?
Why not?
That's what I've drunk in most of my life. Goat's milk.
Fair enough. I guess I'm just
Has
I
more
guess I'm just used to juicing shit in a forest.
It has more protein in it. Alrighty.
What kind of food we got, Sam? I'm curious.
Bacon, eggs,
Oh, that's exactly.
sausage.
I'm eyeing out
The big
Aiden's
breakfast.
sausage.
Does it have some hollandaise sauce on it? Because I gotta admit, I'm a fucking sucker for hollandaise sauce.
I don't think that's a thing.
I'm waiting.
I don't know what's in it. I have no idea what's in it, to be honest.
It's egg white vinegar. Something else.
They probably have mayonnaise.
Good enough. I'll take mayonnaise on my eggs.
What
just-
is
like-
in hollandaise sauce?
Put it in spag.
Is it something that could be made back here? I'm just gonna
Egg yolk, melted butter, lemon juice. I was close.
Oh, you could absolutely have made that back then, but it's alright. I'm just gonna scarf whatever I'm eating. Like
Maybe-
he's starving. Guys, I've got a business proposition for you. All right, we mix egg white, butter, and whatever else he said just then, and we make a
Lemon
fortune.
juice.
And lemon juice.
That sounds horrible. Well, why would that make us a fortune?
And he just goes back to eating. Don't you logic me,
I'm not disputing. I'm just curious. I'm generally curious on like where your mind went to the point of that this is going to make us a fortune.
Look, you know how I feel about money. Anything I think could make us a fortune seems like a good idea to me.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a go, Aiden, if you're adamant that it can be a thing. I'm not doubting you in any way, shape, or form.
This is going to be one of those on the road things. I'm going to look for these ingredients to make while we're out and about. I'm not just going to buy them here. I want this to be part of a journey.
Do have to heat them up, but yeah.
A lot of us can create fire. That's not a problem.
I just imagine you taking the butter, the egg white, and just lemon, and just be like, yeah, eat it. It's great.
Anyway, I finished my breakfast. It's delicious. My compliments to the chef.
I give my sausage to Ren, watching him like salivate over like the side of Aiden's.
I go, yes, it's mine.
Man loves a good sausage.
Alrighty.
Oh, how much did that cost? I'll shout breakfast.
No, I paid.
Oh.
They didn't charge me. It's great. We just got this for free.
Probably a thanks for stopping their bath and getting fucked up.
How much was it, sir?
It was a gold.
A gold for breakfast? Fuck, that's expensive. The room was that much.
Isn't it a gold for the whole thing though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the room was that much.
4 meals, drinks.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the piece.
Mayonnaise is very expensive.
You enjoy your mayonnaise, Hayden.
He just
That
starts
was-
squirt. He squirts it in the glass after he's done drinking his drink and just starts.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ask one of the attendants and be like, so which the I don't think I've been there before. Where is the bank?
Oh, the Royal Bank.
Yeah.
It's actually not too far. Head back to the Commerce Avenue, just up the road here, probably where you came in off. Take a right, and it's not too far from the Shrine of Luminescence. You'll see it on your right.
If I'm, it looks like what it looks like. It's quite close to it. Is that right?
Yeah.
For our own sanity, one of us should probably try and buy a map of this town to see so we can just find our way around a bit easier.
Yeah. Like one of those ones that like just hand out random maps.
I think of it like a theme
tourist
park.
map.
Like a Disneyland.
See all the attractions.
The big Kahuna Burger, the bank. That looks like a flower there. We could go there.
Maybe we can go to the bank together. I mean, it's pretty close to each other.
Do you want
I'd
to
be
do the
happy-
ring first?
Why don't
Yeah.
we head? Why don't we head to the bank? Because that shouldn't take too long, and then we'll head straight from there to the ring. I don't know how long the ring thing might take. They might have questions for us. Whereas the bank should just be, here's your money.
Should.
Yes. Well,
Banks
I mean,
can get
we're-
very busy.
so we should probably do it early.
line outside of ANZ. Fuck it. Alright.
Ah, yes, ANZ, the astronomical Nordis zone bank. I don't know. I was making that up as I went along. All right. I think it might be worth getting the bank stuff sorted. Then from there we'll head straight to sort out this ring problem.
Sounds
Cool.
like a plan.
We walk to the bank.
All right. So bank's a really nice building. It's sort of like got those Roman columns alongside the entrance of the very large wooden doors that are open and lead into a foyer that's circular, and there's all sorts of like sort of benches that you can sort of have stools in front of them where you can sit and fill out paperwork and whatnot, and there's multiple counters. There's a few people lining up at each counter. Like it's probably like just under 10 open windows where people are being served. Kind of looks like this.
Whoa.
Sort of like the wood desks and the wood sort of internal structure of the place, like the counters and stuff.
I'm just gonna lean over to Sarah and be like, I feel like I'm wasting a fortune just standing here.
It's quite opulent.
I'm just gonna go to one of the attendants and say, excuse me, I've got this this paperwork here to claim some gold for something that was confiscated from us.
Yeah, so you jump in a queue, you wait like a couple minutes. The queue's moving relatively fast, and you get to the front. And, the old lady behind the counter says, "Okay, let me have a look at it," and sort of takes it off you. And yep, I see. Yep, no worries. Give me one moment. And then she pulls out another bit of parchment, and she says, "Just sign this here." And then she gives you another one and says, "Sign this one as well." And then she starts taking out gold coins in 5 stacks of 10, lays them on the counter, and then she gives you one of those pieces of paper that you signed, takes the other one, and that's about it. You got your money.
As she's doing that, I'm just gonna say, so how does this bank thing work?
What do you mean?
Like what's here? Like is it like what are banks for? Is this where money is kept? Yes.
That's pretty much it. Yep, we hold people's money, keep it safe for them. We also keep records of large amounts of transactions. Um, Maybe if somebody wants to buy a house, it might not be best to lug around 10,000 gold pieces, and they can fill out the paperwork here at the bank, and that's what we do here.
Just in the
Oh.
background, you hear Aiden just go, "A house is how much?"
And then I turn back and I just go ignore him. Um, so I can keep my money here, and you guys will keep it safe for me.
Well, yes, we have a certain guarantee that we are capable of keeping your money safe.
I see.
I'm mind link with Ren and just like telepathically tell him it does come at a cost. They charge interest on the amount that you store.
Oh, I got. Does it cost money?
Yeah, we it does cost a simple fee charged monthly to your account.
Oh, and how much is that? How much is that cost?
Depending on the type of services you're looking to use with us, it can range from a couple of gold for a month for a daily just deposit and holding situation to if we facilitate the transferal of something like a business, it could be a percentage based on the amount of money that comes through here.
I see. Um, um, I'd like to test out your service, and I'm a new adventurer, and is this a service that most adventurers use, or is it more of like a noble thing?
We have all sorts of customers, um, rich to poor, all sorts of demographics. We have old ladies just uh, keeping their pennies safe for them, and we also have some of our more wealthier clients. Um, Obviously, the crown's gold reserves are kept here.
Hmm, interesting. Can I keep 30 of my gold here just to see how I feel about the services?
You just want to keep it here,
Yes. Does
not,
that, like,
not do anything with it.
well, I don't know. Am I still mind link? Can I, like, respond to Sarah? Um,
I'd have
I
to
mean,
use an action, and that's casting magic in a city.
um, and is that okay? Never mind. And then I'll go, I'll go back, and I'll hand out the 12. Oh, it's 12 gold and 5 silver each. Um,
Alright.
and I'll ask Sarah, is it a good idea to keep our gold in the bank here?
Um, I mean, if we had like large sums that we didn't want to carry around, absolutely. You know, it just, I guess, depends on what you're comfortable in carrying. If we were walking around with, you know, 100 odd platinum or something, then yeah, maybe you would want to store it here. I don't know. It just depends on how comfortable I guess you are with the amount that we're carrying.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe I'll wait until I save up a bit more.
It's totally up to you. I mean, it's safe and secure here, at least, you know.
Yeah. We'll get the day started, and I'll think about it. I mean, we'll be in town for a while, right?
I
I
think
can't
there's.
just leaving for a while.
I mean, yeah, we haven't really picked up a job or anything yet, so I guess there's a couple of things we could do around town and looking for like. I don't know. We've got a lot to do, I guess. There's like the whole ring thing. There's. Yeah. I can imagine a couple of days or a certain amount of time being spent here.
Yeah. All right.
No, yeah, I can imagine us being here a while. We've all got things to do. Let's go deal with the ring.
And we leave.
Kai's just standing in the background, looking, just menacing with his muscles, just nodding along.
I'd also think this would be like quite like a lot to take in for him, never being. I don't know. I feel like he'd feel like he's out of place, but I don't know. That's just my.
Is he still shirtless? Oh no, he's wearing a coat.
No,
now.
He's very close. Yeah,
He's actually wearing a nice cloak now, right?
Yeah.
yeah. So Aiden's never been here either. Aiden's never left Eastfield. He's always just been around the forest there. So this is like he is, but he's not as overwhelmed, I guess, because Kai's basically lived somewhere in the whole world.
And I guess that might show in sort of like Sarah would walk around here like just with a sense of getting to a place, not really taking in.
Aiden would be like looking at everything like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that's huge.
Yeah.
All right.
Where's this magic academy?
There. So it's not too far. You go back on the avenue. You come around the bend, and it's sort of it encases multiple buildings around Midtown area. You could almost just say that all of these buildings here are part of the campus.
Wow.
The main hall would be at the front here, where sort of everyone sort of comes in through the front, and then once on the grounds, there's all sorts of different buildings of learning and whatnot. It's so the front of it is quite well
Holy
decorated and maintained, and it's sort of awe-inspiring if you haven't seen something like this before. The very large first building that you see, which houses the religious shrines and sort of the large foyer that everyone sort of enters into before continuing into other parts of the grounds, is sort of something to really take in. Has quite an interesting sort of architecture. It's very different from all the other buildings you've seen. It's actually not that old, considering possibly the amount of time that the city has been here on the Isles. It seems like much newer. It's a much newer type of design compared to many of the other buildings, even though Port Royal itself is the buildings are much nicer and newer than Old Town. This is sort of like even more so than that. And it's very unique in the way it looks. And sort of the first sort of entry point that you come into is this hall.
Is that really blurry for everyone else?
It's loading in.
Yeah. High-res images. Ta-da!
Yeah, it might take a while to load. Some of the bigger maps.
Yeah, I remember this spot.
Oh yeah, I remember this. We've had a fight here before.
Yeah, so this is sort of the main hall, main foyer, and from here, like, you can split off to all different sorts of parts of the university. And yeah, what would you like to do?
How cool is this place, hey Kai? Aiden?
Aiden sort of just awed. Like he can't believe what he's seeing. He's never been in a building this big. Like this thing to him is like bigger than Eastfield, and he's just shocked at what he's looking at.
It's definitely much larger than any buildings you've seen in Eastfield for sure. You can probably almost combine a whole block in Eastfield with just the size of this one main room.
Yeah, my reaction was the same when I first got here too. This place is amazing.
Do you know where we might need to go to drop this off, Ren? I can't say I've ever sort of been in and around the Institute, just sort of looked and admired from afar as a bypasser.
There should be a front desk somewhere. An administration office.
Oh yeah? Lead on.
Do I remember where it is, Sam?
Yeah, sort of like at the very end of the room, down the very bottom of the map, sort of leads into just general sort of inquiries, and sort of registrations, offices and whatnot for the just general purposes of the institute itself, and not necessarily targeted towards any of the shrines or the academies, but just sort of like the whole general operation of the buildings and stuff.
Aiden's just not going to talk. He feels completely overwhelmed in this place, and he's just going to be following the rest of the group with what they're doing.
Come on, guys, this way. Let's go.
Lead on. Red? Where are you going, Red?
This way. No, this way. No, this way. It's just down here.
Oh yeah, Kai.
Poor guy.
So as you sort of get to this part here, you notice they have just crates of fruit and jugs of what are possibly wine or maybe just water. You're not really sure. And some people just come up and grab one, a piece of fruit out of the boxes or whatnot, or if they have like their own sort of smaller jug, they get a little bit of the what looks to be just water, and they take it and sort of move into other parts of the the halls themselves. You do manage to see one person who sort of places it on the ledge here in front of this statue that stands at the eastern part of the hall here. Like maybe the western part of the hall. And then sort of just bows her head and looks like she's just taking a moment in silent prayer as she says silently, I guess maybe a word to her god or whatnot. And
As we're walking through, I'd just like to seeing Aiden sort of looking around. I just interlink my arm with him.
He's just going to follow along. He's very much out of his depth right now.
Yeah, and that's Sarah's just gonna interlink arms just so he can't wander off or.
No, I'll take that one on board. That seems fair.
if you are you gonna continue walking the direction, or do you want to do anything?
I'll walk up to one of the desks and I'll find that someone at an administrative looking sort of desk, and then approach.
Okay. So you make your way down to the end of the halls. People are it's much like sort of the Privateers Association, similar sort of thing. People are registering for classes, people are filling out paperwork, all that sort of thing, paying fees that they might need to pay in order to study or any sort of other things that they do. The lines again, 5-10 minutes, you get to the front. And you approach the counter, and it says, the lady behind the counter says, "Yes, next, please."
Hi. I was approached by a gentleman, um, known as the Admiral, and he had tasked us to deliver this ring, and it seemed pretty urgent.
I'm sorry, what is this relating to? Are you a student here on campus, or?
I mean, I am a student here in campus, but this is a different matter.
What's your name?
Ren.
Ren?
Ren Alvaru.
Ren Elveru?
Yeah.
One moment, let me look up your information. She sort of stands up, goes back to the filing, like all sorts of. They have just shelves and shelves of papers and parchments and books and things. She pulls out a book that has a big R on it. It's a very large book. Actually, it'd be an A. Sorry, Elveru. Pulls out the book that has a big A on it. Sort of brings it back to the counter. Ren Elveru. Yes, I believe you were enrolled in Arcane 101
Yes.
a couple years ago, perhaps.
Yeah.
And what is it I can do for you today? Are you looking to sign up for more classes or something?
No. I'm not quite sure who this may be relevant to, but as I mentioned, I was tasked by a gentleman called the Admiral to deliver this to the institute, the Arcane Institute.
I don't know exactly what you mean by that. You have some sort of letter to deliver, or
This object, and then or this ring, and then like I show it to her. This does not mean anything to you, or no?
we don't actually take payments in objects, just gold and silver and whatnot. I'm sorry.
I see. Okay. Um, my mistake. And then I'll head back to the guys and say, I'm at a loss here. I'm not quite sure where the admiral wanted us to take this ring to. I'm not sure if it was here or to a specific person.
Do you mind if I go up and ask Ren?
Yeah, sure.
And the ring is magical, yeah? You said it was like magical when you were looking at it?
It emitted some type of magical,
Okay.
essence.
I guess I'll go out to the counter.
Okay. Next.
Good morning.
Hello.
I'm just wondering if we were to try and deliver a magical item of some sort of interest, would there be anywhere in particular you or could direct us that we might go to succeed in that?
Do you have an appointment with someone from our department of arcane items?
No, I don't, but I've been hired as just a general sort of adventurer to drop off this item to the Institute, and no more information was really provided to me, so I guess we're just trying to locate an area that this might be sort of like appropriate to be delivered to.
Okay. Take a seat and I'll get someone to have a look at it for you.
Okay, no worries. Return and take a seat.
Yeah.
They want us to wait.
How do you do that every single time?
What do you mean?
I mean, I just shut up.
I'm just noticing that when Sarah walked up, I was still interlocked, so I just got dragged behind her. And I listened to that conversation. I was like, teach me.
So like 5-10 minutes go by. Eventually, you see a eventually you see this man sort of approach the counter, and then the lady sort of points towards you guys where you're sitting, and he walks over, and Ren might recognize him as previously teaching some classes that maybe he had previously. Maybe you remember his name. I don't know. It depends how invested you were in your schooling.
Shall I make a roll for that?
Yeah. Well, what do you think? If you think you were a very astute student and you had a good rapport with your teachers, perhaps it's up to you there.
Because I was shy, I probably wouldn't know, but I might know his name.
All right.
Shall I? I don't know. You want me to make a roll or anything for it?
If you want to, maybe I don't know what a history check.
Oh yeah. A 5. I don't know his name at all. I know his face though.
So he sort of walks up and he takes a second look at you and he says, "Oh, what is your name? I believe we've met before, haven't we?"
Yes, and I'll say yes, and with my head down more. Yes.
How did we know each other?
I have attended your classes previously.
Oh, you were a student.
Yes.
And your name? Just jog my memory. It's sort of
Ren.
getting up there in age. Ren. Ren. You remember me?
I do. Although I admit I don't remember your name either, sir.
My name is Laurenus. I do the enchantment classes that I believe you were in not too long ago.
Oh yes, I believe maybe I wasn't doing too well in those classes.
If I remember correctly, you frequently fell asleep at your desk.
Possibly. Sorry about that. I just giggle uncomfortably.
I believe a C plus was about to your grading that you earned. Yes.
I'm visibly pale. Maybe.
So do we refer to you as like Master Laurenus?
That's fine. You can do that.
Sorry, my name is Sarah, and this is Aiden and Kai, or Key. We're all associates of Ren.
And what can I do for you all today?
We were tasked with delivering this item to the Institute. We weren't really given a lot of detail about it. Ren could pick up that there was some sort of magical presence within it, but we're just trying to find out who or where we would take it to be delivered. It was given to us by a gentleman who referred to himself as the Admiral. Not sure if that's familiar to you, but yeah, and I'll hold out the ring.
The Admiral. It's not familiar. Let me have a look at it. It's probably best we move out of this foyer area. Follow me, if you would. He comes over to sort of the... he decides to walk over this way.
As we're walking, I'll just ask him, because he mentioned enchanting, for my own curiosity, enchanting, is that referring to sort of like magical item enchanting, or the enhancement of imbuing properties or something like that?
Yes, that's correct. I usually teach magical item theory and mostly relating to objects of magical power, artifacts, and the like.
Interesting.
Still just blown away by this place.
It is quite interesting, yes. I find it quite stimulating in my studies. Perhaps we'll just... so again, let me just take a quick look at this here. And he starts to cast Detect Magic. And obviously no one sort of blinks an eye when he does this in the middle of the room. It says, yeah, it's very interesting. It is magical in some way. Not quite sure what it does, though. It could take some time to study and have a look. You say you're delivering this to us?
That was the task that was given to us to deliver it to the Institute, so...
Alright then. Maybe perhaps I could have a look at it overnight and maybe get back to you tomorrow? Perhaps?
If you feel the need to, I can't say that we know any more, but if you want to sort of tell us more, we would be happy to sort of find out about it.
Inside check. Is he on the level?
Make an inside check.
I'm gonna say he seems pretty fucking sincere.
He definitely has like more of a confused look on his face, because he sort of voices this to the group as well. As I said, I do sort of organize these sort of things and the artifacts and collection that we have here, and I was not aware of a delivery being made. Perhaps, this is quite interesting. And sort of as this discussion's going on, from behind him, you see a woman approach and sort of has a good look at Ren. Like, maybe she notices him, who he is.
I would know who this one definitely is, right?
You're definitely aware of, the significance of
the Grand Magus.
Yeah, the Archmagus of the Institute.
I lower my head a bit more.
Sort of.
I see what Ren's doing. I look at Ren lowering his head, and I look back, and I'm like, back at Ren, back at Ren, back at Ren, back. Ah, and then lower my head. Takes 3 times to work out what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
Okay. It's probably not that you were ever taught directly by her, but it would have been in all the brochures,
No, I wouldn't imagine she would have anything to do with me. A lowly student like me.
She says, Laurenus, who are your friends? And he sort of responds and says, Master Azora. It's quite an interesting thing, actually. They've sort of come to us with a delivery of sorts. And it's not something that we were expecting. It wasn't on the books, so I'm quite unsure of it. It seems to be some sort of magical ring. Perhaps, maybe you'd like to take a look at it. And she says, "Oh, sure. Let me have a quick look." And she notices that she could possibly do something with it, and seems to be some sort of magical essence on it that she could manipulate. Perhaps this isn't the best place for it. Maybe if you'd like to accompany me to a private classroom or study where we could look over this. Just, don't want to be doing this out in public. It could cause some issue if something terrible were to happen.
Yes, absolutely. Grand Magus. Arch Grand Magus. Which is talking to us.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
just gonna hook arms with Sarah a little bit tighter and be like, "You lead. I don't want to fuck up in here."
Okay then. Follow me this way. We'll find a empty room to and she sort of leads you uh, deeper into the institute, towards the sort of away from all the shrines and towards more of what looks like a library section where sort of there's very comfortable sort of carpeted rooms. As you sort of walk past in the hallway, you can sort of peer in and see like lounge chairs and bookshelves and sort of they're like individual sort of study rooms. Some of them have like desks in them with things like fireplaces and whatnot, and then she sort of leads you into the sort of a more restricted sort of area of the institute that only mages and arcane practitioners can sort of enter. It's sort of like it's got its own sort of grand sort of doorway itself, which is sort of more made out of metal with a what looks like perhaps like a glass sort of framing to it. Um, a large arch on the top of it, and leads you into the main sort of studying quarters of the the Arcane Institute. She leads you up some stairs. Like you're constantly just going past bookshelves and bookshelves and bookshelves. Like every hallway is just lined with books. All the floors have these sort of ornate rugs along the hallways and quite a nice carpeted interiors and whatnot. And eventually you come to this
Did my computer just freeze?
No, I don't believe so. I just lost Ran for a second.
Oh, yeah, because I can't see Aaron anymore.
No, I've only had his icon up for like the
Oh.
last while.
My camera's just having issues again. Wait. There, so it's working again.
Did we lose Sar? Maybe we lost Sar?
nah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, so you just stopped, and that's what I was, and then no one said anything.
Sitting anticipatingly waiting, going. Pizza, 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 pizza.
eventually you come up some stairs and you're led into this
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
somewhat inspiring room. It's quite long, has quite a bit of decoration, carpeted decoration along the floors.
Oh, that's sick with the map. Sorry, I just point that out.
Books everywhere you sort of look, just like the rest of the institute. And as you sort of come in from the left, turn your head to the right and notice what looks like some sort of skeletal beast just sort of propped up on this large sort of display unit to the south of the room. From the ceiling hang these sort of globes of light suspended by these chandeliers of shining metal and have sort of a golden shine to them. And then she says, she sort of motions you towards the table here, and says, "Okay, let's have a look at what you've got here." Lorenus takes a seat in the chair in the corner, and she casts Dispel Magic on the ring itself. And as soon as that sort of happens, the light in the room dims, and sort of the glowing of the lamps sort of flicker, and overall the light itself sort of dims, and there's this blue sort of light that emanates from this gem that sort of hovers in the air in front of her, and then a voice sort of quite loud and fills the room, enters your ears, and it says, Archmagus Astradum, I hope this message reaches you well. A millennia it has been. I fear a new Whimspeaker has arisen, and the chromatic kings of old have awoken once more. And just as soon as those words are echoing in your ears, the lights dim and sort of go back to how it was, not just moments before. And
Oh, that's cool.
That's fucking cool.
she sort of has a look at the ring that is now sort of laying on the middle of the map table, without any sort of glow or any sort of magical essence emanating from it at all. It just seems to be inert and just sitting there, not doing anything. And she says, "Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Seemed to have been a simple enchantment. It must have had something to say, I guess, from what we just heard. But the words, they don't necessarily mean much to me. Archmagus Astradum, I am not familiar with that name. The message also speaks of a millennia. I mean, that's quite a long time. Now, these other references are something that could mean more. I would have to do a lot of more research to necessarily pinpoint the what they're trying to necessarily say to me or anyone who heard that. It's quite concerning, actually. I must admit. Laurenus sort of is now standing by the table and says, Master, that is quite interesting, is it not? She says, indeed it is. Perhaps you could spend some time on this, Laurenus. Maybe get back to me with what you find. He says, that would be quite interesting. I would probably enjoy that, Master.
Did we recognize the voice as the Admiral's?
Would you?
I don't know. I could do like a perception check or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a perception check or an insight or investigation, maybe. Yeah.
I could do insight. I'll do insight.
Because I also spoke to our Admiral, who would also try and ascertain if the voice was familiar, but I clearly do not know.
Ren sort of says, yeah, you would sort of know that maybe perhaps that it seems familiar to the voice of the person who gave the ring to you.
I'm just gonna relay that to everyone. That seems to be the gentleman, the admiral, that tasked us with this delivery.
An admiral asked you to deliver this item to us, did you say?
Yes, he just referred to himself as the admiral.
It's quite interesting. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, and I'm not sure that we know how to interpret them or even place them together.
Hmm.
Is there any other information you might have that could help us in this endeavor?
He only referred to himself as somewhat of like a fleet, like master or like hero of old.
I don't know. I vaguely remember him saying he was the admiral, but I could be making that up.
He definitely referred to himself as the admiral,
Yep.
as not just a mere admiral, but the specific the
The admiral.
and was quite adorned with a number of sort of
Medals.
medals, yeah, um, which is the only reason I come to think of him sort of serving in some sort of
Official
past, yeah.
way, but may have retired.
I'll probably come up and go, I don't even know what he looks like.
Laurenus, perhaps checking the marine archives as well in your research? And he responds, yep, that seems to be appropriate in this situation.
Give a general description of what he also looked like. Just, sort of like large, bulkish, weathered sailor with his quite full face of sort of beard and moustache.
All right then. Yes, like I said, perhaps you seem like a capable sort from what I can perceive. Are you perhaps registered as privateers or whatnot?
We are, ma'am.
Oh, that's good. I will be able to easily contact you should we need to address this again in the future, I guess.
May
Uh,
I'm guessing due to the complexity that went into sort of keeping this message very specific for yourself or someone of your capability, that what we've heard here today, you don't want us to sort of repeat as mere sort of common discussion or talk. And I would just like to emphasize that on behalf of the group that what we've seen and heard here today, that we would not repeat or utter to others.
that might be for the best. I mean, I myself have no idea where this could lead. Um, I don't necessarily think common folk would either, but that could be wise going forth.
It
Um,
it just
as
seems
a
to make sense seeing that someone went to such extent to keep this message.
That makes sense, of course.
and as a student of knowledge and the Arcadian here, I'm I do like a good puzzle and a mystery, and so I would definitely be interested in following this where this may lead.
So you're offering your services, are you?
We are a group of adventurers, and he seems very nervous to be speaking. He's like, we are a group of adventurers looking for work. I mean, it seems like a
Yes,
deep end, but it seems like sure as hell up our alley.
if I could be of service, if this could be of service to the institute, and serve this serve Port Royal, then we would definitely be honored to be of service.
That's good to know. What are your names? And so I can cross-reference with the privateers and get in contact with you in the future should we need to.
Our group is registered under the name of ARCS.
Uh,
Ren is a student of your academy. The rest of us, this is all our first time here. This is Aiden, Kai, and I am Sarah.
It's nice to meet you all. Again, if you come across anything that you might find interesting that could maybe shed some light on this, don't hesitate to come back and perhaps contact Laurenus, and he'll pass on the information should he need to. He sort of nods his head at you all. Is there anything else for today?
Should we find Laurenus the same way we did today? Just ask at the front desk and he'll know it's us?
Yes, that he responds. Yes, that should do fine.
Is there a grand library or something where we might be able to research history of? And I mean, they mentioned something about a millennia, so that at least gives us a hint that we can look at a time frame of some sort of significant efforts or events that have occurred in the past. That might minimize the time that you guys need to spend studying and looking.
I must say, a millennia is quite some time. It would take quite some time, yet again, to study all that we have relating to what we can, these specific words that are mentioned in this message. You're free to use the public facilities of the shrine itself. If it's something of arcane nature that you would like to study, again, perhaps Laurenus might be your best contact for that.
Actually, funny enough, you may have just answered my question, but if one was interested in possibly doing a bit of study here, is that something we could arrange?
What type of study are you interested in?
I'm not sure right now. My powers are fairly new to me. Maybe once I get a grasp about them, but it would be a general magic study at the start. Probably more of your, I don't know, old magic. So I don't really have a better way to describe it right now.
Enchanting.
And that.
Okay then. Sure. If you know exactly what you're looking for, we'll have Laurenus set you up. He can check out books or whatnot for you. Most of our arcane tomes are restricted to being read here on campus, and we don't necessarily allow them to leave. But if it's of general knowledge, you are free to take them home with you and return them within a practical amount of time.
I.
Thank you, man. We appreciate the offer.
Thank you. And he just nods to Sarah and goes, "Thank you."
All right then. Anything else?
Is will Laura Master Lauren
Laurenus?
Laurenus.
be walking us out?
Yes, I can do that.
And then I'll also say a moment, if I may, Master Lawrence, Lord.
No wonder he remembers you as a bad student.
Lawrence,
Big L.
Lauren ass.
Laurenas,
Laurenus.
God, guys, killing me here.
Think of Lawrence.
He just sort of looks at Master Azora and shakes his head. Like,
Sorry, Master. I've as you know, I haven't always been very good at focusing in my studies, being able to focus or direct my intellect properly. Um, I I've heard that there are enchanted magical items out there that can help focus and maybe help me increase my intelligence and focus so that I can study more in the ways of arcane.
Are you saying you're looking for a supplement of some sort,
Yes.
some sort of advantage in your studies?
Yes.
Something like that is not usually permitted for our students. We like for them to achieve on their own accords.
Okay.
Sarah? Oh, are you having this conversation by yourself with him?
No, not necessarily. I'm not trying to hide anything from the group.
Aiden would notice if he's still interlocked with Sarah. She kind of drops her head significantly at like this discussion.
Um,
Is that noticeable enough that everyone would notice, or just because I'm standing next to you?
Just because you're standing next to me.
Okay. I'll say nothing at this point.
yeah, and then I'll just explain. It's not so much more as I guess, an advantage, but more of, I guess, a way for me to be able to focus myself more.
Perhaps in due time and with practice, you can achieve that, Ren.
Thank you, Master. Lawrence. Did I get that right?
No.
That was your closest attempt yet, Ren.
Thank you, Master. Lawrence.
That one was not so good.
Okay. Thank you, Master. And then I'll just back away really uncomfortably.
Again, Aiden's going to be looking at Ren during that, and even he's going to be shaking his head like, "Oh my god, how'd you fuck that up that many times?" And I'm going to sort of pull Sarah if her head's still down, like, "Come on, it's time to go."
All right, then I'll walk you out.
Thank you, Master Laurinaitis.
Oh, this group is an interesting one, sort. Yeah, so he sort of takes you to the foyer here, where you previously were. Says, "Okay, then. Good luck. We'll be in touch."
Master, what class exactly do you teach for enchanting? If I was interested in enrolling.
I teach 101 and also slightly more advanced classes, but I'm also mostly work with a lot of paperwork and behind the scenes sort of things here, and really just fill in those sorts of classes when I have a chance. But if you're interested, you can always sign up at the office, and perhaps you could take a short course or something.
Most definitely.
How long does a short course go for, sir?
Well, it depends on what you're interested in learning.
Just if you had to say your standard short course.
Enchanting 101 could be 6 months.
Okay. I
Certificate 4 in Arcanium.
no, that's the certificate 3 if it's a 101 class.
Oh yeah, that's
and he's still trying to get his words together. He said, like, this has taken longer than a normal person would to form. I appreciate the time you spent answering our questions. So, he nods his head.
Um, uh, stay well. We'll see you again soon.
I'll just back away and bow and back away uncomfortably like this.
He sort of looks back over his shoulder as he walks away from you. He's like,
What a pack of idiots.
I'm not sure what the bowing is for. I mean,
I'm just going to turn to Kai and go, I think you were smart to just say nothing that whole time. He probably thinks you're the smartest of the three of us, to be perfectly honest. Out of the four of us, to be honest. All right. Well, that was enlightening. I guess we probably shouldn't talk about this openly if we're going to chat. Maybe back somewhere private.
Yeah, let's not talk about what we saw
Yeah.
until we're in more private surrounds.
What would you like to do?
To be honest, I don't really have much on for the rest of the day. I don't know about you two, but maybe we can have a look around the town, see what we can see, around the markets, and maybe do a bit of window shopping.
Um, I have two particular things I want to do. Like I said, one of them is a bit of a surprise for the group. But I also want to take these tabards back to the Order of the Platinum Dragon, if that interests any of you, accompany me for that. It means we're going to the more sort of military royal district. Just as fair warning.
I look over at Aiden, and I'm like, yes.
Look, I don't feel great about going to a military area right now. But at the same time, I did have something I wanted to do, so I'm happy to. We could split up for the day and meet back at the inn. I'll book us a room, and I'll nick back to the inn now. I'll book us a room for the night, and I'll book it under Arcs, and we can all, when we're all said and done, just head back there and relax.
It sounds like a plan.
Let's.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys later tonight then.
Well, we should go in at least a pair. Ren, maybe if you want to go with Aiden because you know the city a bit better, and I can take Kai around with me. That way, at least the pairings have a little bit of an idea of everything else around as we wander.
Yeah.
I mean, look around. I don't know what you need to do, but I can. I'm happy to chat with you as we walk.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. What are you guys doing?
I am going to, and I'll explain this to Ren as I'm walking. Um, I'm sick of this fucking awkwardness I've got. I want to find somewhere here that I can talk to and maybe, I don't know, take a class or, I don't know, hit me with a fucking potion or something that will make it so I can talk to someone without feeling like I've got to stick 3 feet up my ass.
I mean, I think both you and I have always been like that.
Yeah, I'm pathetically awkward when it, like, I'm fine with you guys. It's just other people. I'm either too much of a dickhead or I'm too nervous. Like, I can't go. I got to go one extreme or the other. I don't have a middle ground. I need to find that middle ground.
Yes.
Uh,
Well,
I'm sure there's somewhere we can get that done, and then Sarah can maybe just be our instructor because obviously she's got no lack of charisma.
I think Sarah has it in abundance.
Well, it's something the rest of us can't say we have, but that's fine. But that's something I really
It's
want
the
to do.
boobs.
Like, it's the boobs. Yeah, it's absolutely the boobs. Actually, judging from that picture, she has no boobs to speak of.
Oh, come on. um, yeah. I mean, there was also that that thing that Master Lordens was saying.
uh,
It's Master Lazarus. Get it right.
Lazarens.
Lazarus. That's it.
And he he didn't seem to think too highly of taking shortcuts. I suppose.
No, I'm not looking at shortcuts. I'm happy to take this course, and I mean, hell, even if it's like a, I Sarah seemed pretty confident that there's somewhere I could take a course and maybe, I don't know, maybe like a public speaking course or something that will. I assume that would make it easier to talk to one-on-one people. I could talk to a crowd. Oh god, that seems terrifying though.
But-
Talking to a crowd.
I heard that if you imagine everyone in the crowd naked, that kind of works.
I mean, I'm sure that would work right up until you had a raging hard on, and you're just looking at a crowd of people with a just me. Well, I'm happy to go look for that. Other than that, did you have something else you wanted to do, mate?
No. Happy to tag along for now.
So, is that something we'd be able to find?
Classes?
Basically, just somewhere that we could talk to them, and maybe they could, teach us how to not be so awkward. If that makes sense, like a public speaking class or something like that.
Yeah. Can check at the registration office.
I'm happy to head there. I don't really have much else to do.
We go back to that same lady. We find it. Is it a lady? Or...
Oh, they have those classes here. I thought this was only all magic.
No, it's everything.
Oh, so it's a giant fucking school.
Yeah.
I think like Swinburne campus or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd want to sign up for that, and until I got more of an idea of what my powers are, I don't really want to sign up for anything else. So, what about you? Is there any magic classes you want to sign up for? Maybe not with that same teacher.
Master Law Nerds? Yes. I mean, I got nothing against him, so. But I think for now, I think I'm just going to try and see, what else can come of this Master Swordsman thing.
Maybe like a fencing class or something, or just a swordplay class.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd get that from here.
I imagine they'd probably have somewhere where they can teach you to use a sword better, my friend. I mean, look at the size of this place. They have everything here.
But I've never heard of a swordsman study.
Yeah, they wouldn't necessarily have military sort of aspects here. Things like
Fair enough. I'll approach the woman and inquire about. I'll just say, look, me and my friend here are incredibly awkward and terrible at talking to people. I'm looking for some sort of class that can assist with that, public speaking, how to talk to people 101. I don't know what you'd call this.
Okay, so you're looking for some sort of politics class, perhaps?
What would that teach us, such?
Public speaking, conveying your message, trying to persuade people to see your side of the picture, and hopefully, leadership qualities, if you would.
That sounds perfect. Ren, is that what you're looking for? Because I'm signing up for this. How long does this class go for, and how often do I have to attend?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. We have multi-year degrees available. We also have something as small as a short course that could take maybe 4 weeks.
And do you mind me asking what the cost is?
Yes, the cost is just a gold a day.
I look at Aiden. You're on your own here, buddy. And I do the backing up thing.
Aiden sort of looks through his coin purse and he's like, yeah, okay, I'd like to sign up for just a small course to begin with. 4 weeks, you said?
Yeah.
So, I can't remember. A week's here like they were in Yar's campaign with the 10 days, or is a week a week?
Weeks a week.
All right, so it's that 28 gold for the course.
Yes.
He reaches through, he looks. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the cat. I'm interested in signing up. Can I put my name on the list for it and get back to you in a day? I just want to make sure I will be here for that amount of time as such.
Well, we'll have a class starting at the beginning of next week. You can come back and register before then, and you can get into that class.
I'm just going to turn to Ren. Ren, do you think we're going to be here for a month, or is this a waste of time?
I think for now, I think we're posting up here. Maybe we might even have to try and find some permanent,
Lodging.
I guess, living arrangements. I mean, unless we plan to be staying in bunk beds at inns for that whole entire time.
That'd get expensive pretty quickly. Aiden sort of reaches into his like coin purse thing, and he pulls out a handful of gold. He's like, "This is something I need to do. I need to." And he pops 28 gold on the table. He goes, "I'd like to sign up for the politics course, just a small one for now." And does that bridge into another one if I obviously do well in this one?
Yes, credits can transfer into our certificate of politicking.
Political something.
That's actually our 1 year course. It's a bit longer. The first credits that you earn here can transfer over and take a month out of the course should you want to study further.
And he hands a gold. He goes, yeah, no, I'd very much like to sign up to that course.
Okay, your name?
Aiden, spelled with a Y. Ambrose, like the tree sap.
Okay then, let me just fill this out real quick. She hands you some paper to sign.
Yeah.
While you sign it, she counts the gold out on the desk, puts it into the chests next to her, and says, "Okay, class starts Monday, 9 a.m."
Oh God, that's so early. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Where were the? Do I have like a map of where to go by any chance? This place is so big.
Yeah, it's in our political science wing. You'll be able to find it. Just look for the signs.
Okay. Thank you, and he's like, it's right. And I hope you have a great day. And he's just going to nod and sort of move off. And
She says, sir, your receipt."
oh yeah, and he takes it. And I'll make an item for that receipt for class.
Yeah.
All right. And Ray, I don't know about you, but that's all I had to do. I wanted to sign up for a class.
No,
Alright.
that's it. Let's just head towards the inn.
All right, and we'll oh look what Sarah and Kai doing.
What is Sarah and Kai doing?
So heading over to the the sort of the area where we might know as sort of the home of like the Platinum Dragon, or like where the Order resides, or their general sort of post.
Okay. So you head towards the castle, basically.
Yeah.
You exit out of the institute, head along the road here, and to your left you see this extremely large circular structure, quite high. It sort of towers over most of the other buildings around it. Takes
Colosseum?
up quite, yeah, the Colosseum, exactly. Takes up a few blocks of space, and yeah, it's quite interesting.
I pass that on to as we're walking through. I'm like also telling Kai about places that I am familiar with and just pointing out things. Colosseum might interest him because he's a bit of a fighter. So
as you sort of go across the bridge here, the avenue is lined with trees as you get across the bridge, and this is sort of like the wealthier part of town, and everyone around here is dressed quite nicely. Kai sort of stands out a little bit with what he's wearing. He's sort of got a cloak on, and besides that, he's a bit bare-chested, and I'm thinking sandals maybe or something. So people give him a funny look as he sort of walks by. You can take a ride along the river here and head towards the marine district where there's some the all the houses sort of just stop and it turns into much more structured and regimented dwellings, often used as barracks for the Marines stayed in town. Sorry, actually, the first thing you would have seen is the courthouse and the halls of justice, and that actually would have been the first thing you see as you walk across along the river, and that sort of the entrance faces out onto the river itself here, and people. There's a lot of people congregating out the front and coming and going. All sorts of very well dressed people who might have some sort of business that needs to be decided. You also the guard presence is quite heavy out front of the building and around it. It also the guards also have Marines around them as well. It's not just the city guard; it's also Marines, sergeants with in their sort of dress gear and sort of ceremonial sort of attire. And like I said just before, those sort of barracks buildings are sort of behind that, which lead to
like a large garrison, sort of.
Yeah, another very large building, much like the Halls of Justice, along the waterfront near the docks, is the Marine Headquarter building. But you probably wouldn't quite go that way around. You might take the left here and come along the walls towards the parade grounds and the castle itself.
Would they have a garrison outside of the castle that I could go to, or like they all located within like the castle ground?
You haven't seen any paladins as you've made your journey. It just looks like Marines and guards in front of the Justice building.
As we get to that area, I'd probably approach a guard and ask if he could direct me in the direction of the garrison specifically for the Order of the Platinum Dragons.
If you're looking for a dragon, they're usually in the castle. That's where they reside.
Okay. Is there? Okay, yeah. I guess I'll go to the sort of the outpost of the boundary of the castle then.
As you get to the front of the castle, it has civilians around the front. Mm-hmm. There are some people sort of even sitting on the lawns out the front here. You also see like Marines and Marines sort of like in different patches along the grass, sort of just like it's almost like 20 or 30 of them sitting together, sort of enjoying the sun, having some time off and whatnot, and other sorts of more well-to-do people who sort of are having a picnics and whatnot along here. The front of the gates, the actual gates to the keep itself, is they are open. There are guards posted at the front here, but civilians come and go as long as they're well dressed. They don't have an eye. The guards don't really blink an eye towards them.
Okay. I'd approach the guards before going through the gate.
Okay.
And just ask if they could potentially direct me to where I might find sort of like the garrison or quartermaster for the Platinum Dragons, or someone I could talk to from like a civilian to the order perspective.
If you're looking for a dragon, they're most likely you might need to make a booking if you want to directly have a meeting with them. They obviously are in the halls of the king. There are offices just behind here that relate to royal inquiries and whatnot. And people who want to have an audience with the king, they usually file their sort of their briefs and ordinance of what it's about, and the staff sort of collects them and organizes them. And if it's deemed worthy, your audience with the king can be brought forth. I must say, though, your friend doesn't necessarily look like he's in the proper attire for such an occasion. There are public hearings, and the royal court is in session today. We'll be starting after lunch, and but your friend here might need to get himself some better attire before entering.
I understand. I might just try and make an appointment then to return at another time.
That would be appropriate.
I'll go around to where he's directed me. I'll just get Kai to sort of stay out, sort of still within like arm shot, but like if I go into like a building or anything, sort of like wait out the front.
So this would be like sort of where the offices are. Everyone sort of walks in this way to the court. Kai might need to stay outside the gate here or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're allowed in. You go to the offices.
So
Same sort of bureaucratic thing that you've seen at the bank. People like counters with lines of people all wanting to file grievances with the crown and be heard, or have their day to be heard in front of the king. And yeah, so you can wait in line, and it won't take too long.
Yeah.
You get to the front of the line, same sort of thing as any other place you've sort of visited: the Privateers Association, the bank, the institute. Everything is very bureaucratic in this town. Everything has paperwork to go along with it, and you get to the front of the line. They say, "Next, please."
I'll move up and greet the attendant appropriately.
What can I do for you today? What can the king do for you today?
Not so much the audience for the king. I am here to actually return some discovered tabards of the Platinum Dragon. I guess I'm just looking to try and make an appointment with someone appropriate to return such goods. And if they have any questions to ask, I'd be more than comfortable for them to
You'd like
inquire.
to speak to the Master at Arms.
Oh, I don't expect to need to disturb him, but if there's maybe one of like his lesser like lieutenants or someone, or even just the quartermaster,
Okay, that can be arranged. So you're returning items lent to you, or what
no,
was it again?
found. They were discovered.
Found.
Yes, yeah.
So possibly some sort of artifact or whatnot.
They're just, and I'll pull one of the tabards out and I'll just show. I'm not entirely sure. They look like they've been there for quite some time. They're in a old ruin, up in Old Town, the boundary walls of Old Town, in a chest.
Oh, looks like some old military surplus or something by the looks of it. Was it?
I'm not too sure, but yeah, I know they resemble the same emblem as the Order, and I didn't feel it appropriate for them just to be sort of out in the general populace.
Okay. It looks interesting enough. They might be interested in seeing them. We can make an appointment for you to perhaps come back tomorrow. And we will have someone be able to address you.
Okay, sounds good. If you just give me a time and a place, I can be here.
So she does the general paperwork sort of thing, just like all the other places. Get you to sign it. They keep a copy, give you a copy, and tomorrow, in the afternoon, then
Thank
she
you.
gives you a specific time on the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I zip off and pick up my Kai.
Kai's just sort of standing at the gates, sees you come out. How'd it go?
Yep, I've got an appointment tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have to come by myself though, because they're very as you can tell, very strict on the attire requirements.
Yeah, they seem to have some sort of dress code.
It is the general census of this area of the district. So
All right, then, shall we head back?
yeah, I do have one last stop I want to make on the way, and I'll trying to recall memory. Locate a tailor.
Yes. Um, would you have ever been to something like that?
I can imagine to get dressed because like if I ever did come to town, it would have been with like either formal events and stuff. So getting appropriate attire would seem
Okay.
girly.
Um, as you recall, back near the Privateers Association down here, there's sort of a lot of different shops that have inks, dyes, fabrics, cloths, all sorts of things down here. Things like dye is somewhat rare in this sort of setting, and something like this shop would be appropriate, perhaps.
Okay. So we will head there next. Zoom.
All right. So yeah, it's kind of like the like any other sort of sector of the city. Like Glimmer Row has just shops and shops of blacksmiths. The vegetable markets are just full of stalls with vegetables. This is sort of an area where there's tailoring shops, there's fucking hat makers, shoemakers, uh,
So
bulk cloth dyes, all
I'd
sorts of things.
be particularly looking for like a shop that seems to specialize in different arrays of sort of like cloaks.
Okay, it's easy enough to find. You sort of wander around for half an hour. You come across a shop that sort of in the window or also sort of out front on racks and whatnot are different sorts of shirts and cloaks and things. Sort of more. What sort of materials are you looking for? Like,
Something well within our price range, knowing that I can't afford the absolute best. But just like your typical generic sort of traveling sort of like cloak.
yeah, like a Target
Yeah.
or a Kmart. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you
I'm
find that
aware of
there.
how much money I have, and I definitely don't intend to overspend at this point.
Yeah, there's like dozens of those type of shops along
Yeah.
here. Independent, small, one-person operations to larger 10 and 20 people working in the shops and whatnot. Um, and you're able to find one. There's all sorts of people cutting fabric as you walk in, and there's all sorts of just bolts of cloth along the walls. The shelves above head height have even more stacks of cloth and things, and as you walk in, and the person towards the back of the room notices you come in and says, "Hello, what can I do for you there?"
Hi. I'm interested in getting some custom cloaks being made, traveler's cloaks if possible, or embroidered, should I say? Out of, and I'll look and see if they have a general sort of just like a darkish sort of like either black or you know dark uh, dyed cloak already that seems fairly plain that might be able to have some like a pattern embroidered on it.
Can I ask what sort of price range you're looking for here?
Um, yep, sure.
We have cloth that range from a silver a meter to something a little bit more fancy, a gold a meter. To make something like a cloak, we might need 2 or 3 meters per cloak.
We'll go with the silver quality.
Just the silver, yeah. Specific color, black. You said.
Black is the main color. Yes, I'm looking for a black with like either a white or a silver trim on the outside, and then the same color for an emblem in the center if you can embroider it.
Can I ask, just inquire what you're using these for?
I'm trying to put together a cloak to associate my adventurers group under a symbolic sort of replicant so that we can all adorn the same attire and be recognized as one group.
Well, black might not necessarily be the most friendliest of color if that's perhaps that's not what you're going for. Maybe you are going for something a little bit more menacing, and that could work. Yeah, we do have some quite dark colored blacks and whatnot. Let me show you something over here. And she sort of takes you over to just like a wall of black cloth. Something for a silver a meter. It's pretty much just base black cloth. We can embroider something on it for you if you'd like. That'll be a little bit extra.
Yep.
And this one's, like I said, 1 silver for a meter. So, how many cloaks were you after?
I'm after 3 cloaks and a headband, if possible.
A headband. Okay, well,
I,
that's simple enough.
I figured if there were some offcuts, you'd be able to adorn a sort of like headband and use that same symbol for this individual, as they already have a cloak that they can do whatever they want with.
Okay, then probably perhaps just the cost of 3 cloaks, and then we can use what we have left over to make the headband. That shouldn't be a problem. So that would be about 9 silver.
Okay. And the embroidering. So I'm imagining a light trim on the outside that sort of runs along the edges, and then in the center, a sort of a tree emblem, if I can.
Okay. What sort of color did you want the lining? The
Either
edge
a
line?
white or a silver, if possible, depending on
Silver's
price.
a bit more expensive. White we can do for quite cheap.
Okay. Do you want to quote me the difference between white and silver? And
So it'll be a silver for the white dyeing and coloring and embroidery, and then if you want actually silver embedded in the lining, that itself could take you up to a gold for each. Also, of course, we have a labor costs as well. It could take 3 days just to make sure they're all really nicely done.
we'll go with the white at the moment, and we'll keep it at simple.
Okay.
In case the group doesn't like it, it is a gesture. I haven't really asked them if they would be interested, so I'm just presuming.
So that'll be 1 gold, 2 silver for materials. And then 3 days of labor would come out to approximately 2.5 gold for those as well.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Including the headband to be embroidered as well.
Yeah, that'll cover the headband as well. We can get that done with what's left over of those materials.
Cool. I'll pull out 2.5 and hey.
Yeah, she takes you to the counter, you paperwork, gives you a receipt and puts your name on it and all that. And yeah, counts the gold and says, okay, thank you very much. 3 days' time, come back and we should have that done for you.
Thank you.
Okay then, see you later.
You too.
That's it.
That is. I'll go back to the thing because we've pretty much walked the entire length, so the guys have probably been. I don't know how long they've been doing what they've been doing, but I'll assume that we've been gone for quite a while, so I'd try and catch up with them again.
Definitely longer than your thing. Definitely would have taken longer than what ours did. Ours was where we were already where we had to be.
We get back to the thing and they're half cut.
Yeah, probably would have taken maybe 2 to 3 hours, I think, for all that.
It's okay. We would have been walking along this sort of the
Yeah,
town.
I assume we didn't go straight back. Like we headed back. We probably explored a bit and got a feel for the town.
Yeah.
Actually, so one more thing I want to. Can I find a tourist map of the town so we don't get as lost?
Yeah, as you're sort of walking back from the institute towards the bead hall, you do notice out the front of the post office there they do have visitor information and maps and that sort of thing.
Can I buy? I'll say 2 of them. So if we split up like this again, we've each got maps.
Yeah,
What would that cost me?
just a silver each, I guess.
I just removed 2 silver. I thank him, and I'll just say I'll keep hold of these. But if we split up, maybe it'd be worth having them on us. They're obviously quite. That's a cool looking building. That's obviously be quite useful.
All right. So yeah, it's sort of a basic map of the town. It's got pretty much all the icons you can. Just think of it exactly what you're looking at here is the same sort of.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured it was from the get go. Very nice.
I will say because we are near the privateers, I'll wander in with Kai and just check the jobs board, see if anything new's been posted on the way back, and if there's anything that seems not too difficult, I'll bring it to the group.
No, not since yesterday. It seems to be the same sort of things. The goblin quest is now gone.
Okay.
But yeah, there was that. The lumber mill is looking for people to secure the forests so they can do their work.
Cool.
Thing. Yeah.
And head back to the inn.
All right. And this is sort of the time skip sort of period I was sort of thinking of. If you have anything you guys want to sort of do. And over that time, you can level up to level 3 and take that free feat we talked about as well if you want.
Oh, the free feat comes in level 3. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I might just do that now.
Was this the time we said that the thing was going to happen with me?
Yeah, we can assume that sort of happens. So let's just assume, like, you don't hear anything back. It takes like a month and a half to sort of. Eventually, after that sort of time, the sending stone starts vibrating and shaking, and whenever whoever sort of picks it up and answers it gets a message.
Before we just go too far, does everyone want to just give a quick brief outline of what they did during this time? Because obviously we would have chatted and hung out with each other.
Do we want to take a 5-minute break as well?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah. Sounds good. So I can level up.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a drink.
Sweet. Level 3. Beep, 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 beep.
Ba, 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 ba.
All right.
Now to swap my Eldritch invocations. Because I can do it every level. Goodbye, better Eldritch Blast. Hello, better Pact for Blade.
Oh yeah, you get +1, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can use your thing as a focus too.
Yep.
Freaking sick. Fucking love fucking
It is fun. It is
Yeah.
fun. Eldritch, okay, so instead of antagonizing blast, we go to improved pact weapon. And now I no longer don a sword. It is gone.
What? Where did it go?
It's
Where
vanished.
did it go?
This is probably the one thing I've like been waiting for, because now I'm not carrying a weapon around.
That's crazy.
You're not carrying a weapon in town. Well, that makes sense.
I don't have no. I'm not carrying a weapon at all. Like my sword that I was wearing has now vanished.
Okay. I know what's happened from your perspective. I guess. Yeah. Well, I don't. Do you want me to explain to you guys what happened to me during this time?
Does it need Sar to? Because some of my stuff I need to ask Sar about. But yeah, if you want to go.
Aiden would have been pretty open about this because there's no need to hide it. He's he's in an effect to try and effectively he's taken those classes during the day, which I don't know if you even heard what we were doing there, but he's taken a politics class. But he's gone up to one sec. He went up to sort of practice with his powers, and he's been hit with an astral psychic wind while he was up there, which has done some massive changes to his body, his makeup of his body, and it's amplified all of his powers he had through the roof. But in return, it's basically cut off his connection to nature completely. So he's lost his Juratic powers, but his natural powers he had of psychic powers have boosted like crazy.
Sorry, I missed that first bit. Can you say that again? Sorry.
So he went out. He's basically during the day he's doing his politics class, and at night he was going out and practicing with his Drake powers to learn how to control them.
Okay, yeah.
While practicing, he's hit with a psychic wind from the astral plane. It's come through and hit him, and it's full of effectively memories and whatnot. And it's fucked his brain a bit, not in a negative sense, but it's completely cut him off from his Juratic powers and nature. So his wisdom's plummeted because that was all part of his druid powers, and he's physically a little bit weaker from it because it's affected him. But in return, his psychic powers and his psychic abilities have increased tenfold. So his magic has become quite strong, but he's lost his ability to shapeshift. He's lost his ability to use healing magic or anything associated with nature. And he's been regularly he's been smashing those classes, so he's going to be a little bit more confident with his speaking ability after a month of doing these classes. Probably still not quite Sarah's level, but still not super dumb, not super awkward anymore. But he would have been open with that. Something happened. He doesn't know what happened to him, but something's happened to me while I'm up there. I've lost my abilities, but these other abilities have gotten stronger. He's also lost his ability to speak Juratic. He's lost his ability to speak Sylvan. Like he just can't remember how to do it. He's the armor feels heavy on him now, so he can't even wear armor anymore. Like it's affected his body a bit as well, but he's not really sure what's happened. He's just sort of rolling with it. That's what I did during this time skip.
You probably would have noticed with my character, I would have been like training a lot more, kind of like maybe even training with Kai. Like we're sort of doing like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats sort of type thing. Not losing hair though.
If you're not losing hair, you're not doing it right?
I'd want to practice with Ren, our sword, like fighting as well.
Yeah, yep. So we would have been sort of practicing that. I would have been practicing like my movements as well. I kind of want to add like weight to my sword, kind of like how what's his name from One Piece does it? He adds weight.
Yeah.
When you're swinging weights around.
And I would do the same. You'd notice I suck with my sword at times, and then there's other times where like I wouldn't. it would depend on the day.
Confuse the hell out of me.
Yeah. It's almost like I got really bad DOMs some days, and then some days I don't.
Yeah. And I would have gotten a lot better with like my spells a little bit, but yeah. And I look more like this now.
You got the anime hair grow.
Yeah, I posted
You need a haircut, Ren.
I'm not. I'm letting it grow. I'm letting it grow.
So are you here?
No, he went to get a drink.
I got back. Well,
obviously during this time I'm going to realize that my focus doesn't work anymore. Would I be able to go out and purchase a new spellcasting focus from a magic shop, or is that something I'm going to be without for a while?
Ooh. Do you have the gold for it?
I think that's.
Didn't you just put down 20 something gold on anything?
Yeah, I still got 15 left. So I would have enough to. Plus, you know what I'd do? I'd sell off that hide armor I've got for whatever they pay for it. It says it's worth 10 gold here, and the focus is worth about the same. So I'd probably try and do something like that.
What's your focus worth?
I think it's 10 gold off the top of my head. Arcane focus.
Why don't we add the extra fate thing?
What feats are you all taking?
I was taking Meta Magic Adept, but it seems to be bugged, so I'm going to make that my level 1 feat that I got, and I'll change my other one to telekinetic.
I was gonna take Resilient Constitution.
And I'm the same with Ren. But I don't know if you heard that we were like practicing like fighting with swords, and there'd be days like where I wouldn't enact my packed weapon, so I would struggle with the strength of it, and then there would be other days where I do, and it fight like a lot better.
Alright. What's it called? Constitution.
A resilient constitution. It gives you 1 to con, and it gives you proficiency in a con saving throw.
You mean just resilient? It's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, resilient, but there's different resilience. So
You
the
can
one that
choose
we're
which
picking.
resilient, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
picking.
you choose one ability score, and you're taking Constitution. I see.
Yeah. As I said, mine is Meta Magic Adept.
Do you get a feat at first level?
Do I? Yeah.
Kalashta get a feat?
No, I'm not a Kalashta.
Excuse me? What? What?
He was never a Kalashta. He was just a psychic human. I've just changed it to human now.
What?
He was always that. He was never a thing. He was always a psychic human.
Your race was Kalashta.
Yeah, it was, just because that was the one that gave the psychic power.
Yeah, so you didn't get a feat with that.
Yeah, so I've changed it to fit better.
We talked about a class change, not a race change.
Human to a human.
Huh?
It's a human to a human. They're all just humans.
Kalashta gives you the psychic thing.
Yeah, but I get that from the class, so it's completely pointless. So I've just swapped it to human.
We didn't even talk about that, Aaron.
Oh, you get mad at.
It very clearly does. Like, that's the whole reason for you even being able to swap to a sorcerer, because you are a Kalashta.
Oh, it was because I got hit with an astral wind.
Yeah, and because you're a Kalashta, you're already in tune with the psychic abilities, which enables you to become what you do. And also, we didn't discuss it. You're just changing it because you thought, I want to be min-max to perfection.
Sure.
I mean, we had this whole discussion last night, and you just...
Actually, that discussion ended with, I'll stay a druid, and then you guys decided for me. But...
Like, you didn't even... We never even spoke about a race change.
Well, I'm gonna need more time to fucking play around with it if this is another problem we're entertaining.
In the interim, Sa.
What?
So I would have liked to enrolled in like the Enchanting 101 and started that if I can. I know it's a 6-month course. I guess I'd want to know if there's potential to like take away study material or purchase like the basic book to sort of learn and continue my study while I'm away. If I'm away.
Yeah, you can do that.
How much would I need to pay for that?
You have to buy a book, I guess. $10
Mm.
for a book.
Okay, so I'll take the 10 gold out for the book. And for enrolling in the course or anything as well, or
A gold a day.
So how long are we staying here for?
It was 2 months or something, wasn't it, roughly?
Would we have gone on jobs in that time?
I guess you could have.
Would we have made gold?
That'll take away time from anything you're studying.
Yeah, yeah. I'm even though it's like a 6 month course, I plan to do it for like continue over a long period.
All right. Well, so I'm still a Kalashta because I'm not going to start a fight with you. And the feat I pick is telekinetic.
All right.
If I could find how you add it, there it is. It's management feats, isn't it?
I'd also like try because we interacted with Black Master, Loranus, Loranus, however we want to say it. Um, like during the time I'd inquire into how much it might cost to commission himself, or if he knows someone within the institute that creates scrolls, magical scrolls, and if possible, how much it would cost to commission someone to make a resurrection scroll.
Fuck.
You're welcome.
Before you get too deep in it, is it fine for me to trade out my hide armor for an arcane focus? From what I can see, they are both worth 10 gold. Oh, actually, the arcane focus has no price, but it's up to you how much it's worth.
I have a spare one anyway.
What type of focus?
It'd probably be some sort of necklace or a gem or something, like a gem necklace or something. I don't know, like a bit of obsidian, we'll say. I don't know, like a dark one.
I would.
Has advice. We'll go with that.
I would pull out the ruby of the war mage that was on my weapon and give that to you, Aiden. Unless
I have the other one. So
yeah, so detach it as an action.
yeah.
So I'm gonna detach it as an action. And give it to Aiden because I don't need it.
We'll take it, but I don't have a weapon. So
It's alright if you find something to put it in.
So I'll sell off my hide armor, which is worth 10, and like I'll just do this, and I'll buy an arcane focus after playing around, and they're going, "Ooh, which one works?" And I'll attune to that Ruby the War Mage because fuck it, why not? Just FYI, you'd also notice during this time that Aiden's weaker, like physically. Like whatever happened to him has sapped a lot of his strength. He's quite weak.
Sarah pushes him over. No, I'm kidding.
Boss.
I can't be fucked.
A scroll of resurrection is not something that they can sell.
Okay. That's alright. I was just
Too high
inquiring if he if he would, or if there's any pricing to get someone to commission it, or but if not, then that's cool.
It'd be really expensive, even if it was.
I know. I'm just trying to get an idea in my mind. I persuade him with my charm as his now new favorite pupil for a 19. That's alright. You don't have to give me a price. That's just something Sarah, yeah, asked him about. Passing comment. Oops, I did not mean to roll that.
Should I take a punt here and say that my mind link has reverted back to humans only, or like normal language? Obviously, it doesn't speak to animals anymore.
Yeah, it's just whatever the basic is.
Yeah, so I now have the same ability through two things. That's all good. Yeah. So when the that's the other thing. When the thing hit him, it's like he can't seem to work out herbs anymore. That's all gone. He can't mix poisons anymore. That's all gone. Because he can't wear armor. He feels too weak to wear it now. And just because it came with the thing, he's now knows how to use cards and thieves tools because it just came with the class essentially. I will. The thieves tool's dormant. We'll say he learned how to shuffle cards during this time. The thieves tool's all something will happen later.
I've just been training really hard. Yeah. No. Okay, cool.
Well, he's learned how to speak in. That's the other thing. Obviously, with the class change, all the fucking skills change too. So he's good at talking and deceiving now because of the politics class. And I don't know. The other two I picked was sleight of hand and stealth because I couldn't pick any other ones because they were all fucking druid things. So I'll make up something for that later. He snuck in and out of town a lot when he was practicing. I don't know. That's probably not going to come up very often.
Training to gain levels 2 to 4, 10 days, 20 gold pieces. That's not too bad.
Training to gain levels? What?
I was looking at downtime activities in the DM guide.
For enchanting, you'll need a rod as well, and it looks like they're 10G.
All right, I will buy an enchanting rod. Is just the rod, or is there also like a base kit as well that, like, to learn, practice, break, disenchant?
Just a rod by the looks of it.
All right. So another 10G for that.
Is there anything else?
I would have liked to get like a shoulder tattoo.
Is it a tiger on your back shoulder on your right hand side?
I noticed on the left. See how I've got flowery like sort of tattoos on my left shoulder? I don't know. I don't even know what tattoo I would have got.
All right. How big?
I don't know, just like a shoulder. Like on the left.
Like fist sized on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Or bigger?
Yeah, fist size on my shoulder.
So you could get it done.
Yep.
Near all the inks and stuff, they have a place. It's kind of shady looking. It's at the back of sort of the dye shops and whatnot. There's this guy who just like sort of has this it would be like 10 foot wide by like 10 foot deep, just sort of like not much more than a shed behind one of the shops. And he has like a sort of like a hammer and a needle, and he just sort of has all these jars of ink and stuff on the shelves, and sort of like a wooden bench to sort of lay down on. And yeah, he says, "Hey, what can I do for you?"
Now I go, what kind of tattoo can you get for a adventurer who has killed over 100 goblins? And look at him intently.
Like a tattoo of an adventurer slaying 100 goblins?
No, I'm just saying, what kind of tattoos can you get? I want something like really badass, like a flower on my shoulder with like, tribal looking things, make me look real, sort of the part.
I didn't necessarily think a flower was very badass, but you seem to have a different idea of what you're talking about than I do.
It's like a menacing, like red sort of tattoo.
Okay. Let me just show you some sketches of some sort of designs I have of different types of flowers. And he pulls out some parchments and whatnot, sort of lays them out in front of you. Different types of flowers that are common to the Isles.
And I go, fuck that, just give me a tiger on my shoulder.
Okay then.
A tribal tattoo. Tiger.
Do you want color, black and white,
Like red and black.
red and black tiger? Okay. Maybe more realistic or more stylized.
Like stylized.
Okay, that should be simple enough. And he has like some a special type of ink that sort of he sort of basically just paints on you outlines of a little drawing. And he says, and he holds up a shard of glass that he has that's very polished. He says, "What do you think of that?" It sort of shows you what's on your shoulder.
Ow, that really hurt.
I didn't do anything. I just painted a design on you.
Oh, yes. No, I didn't feel a thing. That looks amazing. Thanks, man.
You know, I think I'm gonna have to charge you more because this could take hours. If we're gonna have to stop and start breaks and whatnot. You don't look very confident in your abilities.
No, I'll be fine. I'll power through.
Are you sure? Because it can be quite painful.
Do it. Give me something to bite down on.
It's going to be 5 gold for the inks and the time that it takes.
Sure. And I'll give him 6 gold.
All right then. All right, you get to start today.
Yeah.
All right, lay down. And he points toward the bench that he's got.
I close my eyes
You what?
close my eyes real tight.
Are you doing this by yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
You don't
unless
want
you guys
to.
want to come.
You don't want to tense up while we do this. You got to sort of relax yourself. Otherwise, could be even more painful for you.
Okay.
Yeah. He just sort of pokes you with one of the needles. Dunk.
Oh.
Sees if you
So-
flinch or not. And then he takes the needle, dips it in the ink, brings it back and places it on the skin, along one of the tracings of the ink that he sort of put on you.
Yeah.
And then just grabs the hammer and just tick, 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 tick.
Oh god.
It's very slight, like very slight hammering, like tick, 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 tick. And it's just constant, and it goes on for hours and hours. And I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw. You're fading out. I can't quite hear you.
Did that fate kick in yet? Did you give me the fate?
No. Are you doing this during your time or what?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
12.
All right then. So the first hour goes by and it's not too bad. You're hanging in there. You're tensing a little bit, and he's like, "Hey, just relax your arms. Just relax. It's all right." And just
Hearing.
ding, 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 ding. Another couple of hours pass. It looks like it's starting to take shape and form, and but you're starting to bleed a lot. So he's wiping it. He's constantly having to wipe it. And the outline that he made on your arm is now sort of gone. It's been wiped away with the blood and whatnot, and the outline is sort of there, and he's getting through it. And listen, it's a bit bloody. It's getting a bit red and sore, and we might have to come back tomorrow and finish it off. Okay. Just heal up for. Actually, you know what? I'll book you in for 2 days from now. I'll give you a couple of days to heal up. Come back and we'll finish it off. All right.
I'm like, okay, I could have powered through, but okay.
You notices like tears coming from your eyes. Like,
Yeah.
all right, buddy. Keep your head up. You're nearly there. He hands you he opens this little jar that he has next to some of the paints and stuff, and it's got like little coloured sort of toffees in it, and he offers you one. Here you go. You did well.
You.
Take one. There you go. All right. I'll see you in a couple of days. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I've got half a tattoo now. Or is it just the outline?
So yeah, let's speed forward and say you come back a couple of days later and he finishes it off, and you
Yeah,
now
cool.
have your tattoo. Ready.
Sweet. You look cool.
Hey guys, I have something to show you. Check this out. Whoosh. And I like try and tense up.
And it's swollen and it's red and it looks really gross. And it's like a little bit of blood starts to come out one of the pores.
Is that infected,
Yeah.
Ren? Do we need to take you to a cleric to get, like, I don't know,
No,
some
it-
balming or something?
No, I think it's fine.
You
It looks
sure?
good.
You sure? I'd like to just like touch it, and I'd like to medicine check to see if he's infected.
Ow.
Yeah, roll the check.
I rolled a 3. I still, with my lack of knowledge whatsoever, think it's infected. I am just assuming because I have no idea that it's infected.
You don't know, but it's ugly looking.
Yeah, based on the fact
Ren,
that
does it hurt?
It's a little tender. Aiden, throw me a heel.
Can't.
No.
What? What do you mean, Aiden? You've healed us before. What's going on?
The tattoo artist tells you to put some pure whiskey on it or alcohol on it, just to over the next few days to make sure it doesn't get infected.
I'll just pour that whiskey in it or bourbon when I like go down the bottom.
Roll the Constitution saving throw.
God, you're gonna get knocked out from this.
I don't think that's a good idea, Red.
Yeah, 21.
You actually managed to withstand the burning and incredible pain that you feel.
Oh, yeah, feel the pain. The tear comes out. It's one tear.
Your tears are just flowing, but you're like, yeah, this is great, guys. I'm really happy with what I purchased. Yeah, and you just cry.
You're just like frozen in place, like.
Gilmore when he's like getting himself hit by the balls. He's like, yeah.
All right. Do we have any small jobs we can go take care of? Yeah. Any more goblins need to be killed? I'm sure Ren needs to catch up to the 100 he's apparently done.
There's 2 other things. The tabards returning. Did anything happen with that? Or we can just give them back.
Oh, you can just pick them up.
So give them back.
Oh, yes. Sorry, the other tablets. Yeah. So you go back. I think it was the next day. I said.
Yeah.
So you go back. Go back to the office and say, I have an appointment for today, and they're sort of like, oh, yep. What's your name? They take your name, they check your receipt and stuff, and they say, oh, yep, no worries. Head into head down the hall. You'll find room 5 on your right, and someone will be with you shortly. And it's sort of like sort of directs you to this hallway that leads down sort of the side of the building towards like what look like sort of like mediation rooms. Like they have like a large desk in the middle with chairs on both sides. It's sort of like almost like sort of like where diplomats would meet and sort of talk about different sorts of things that they want to see put in contracts or stuff like that. Maybe even like, yeah, diplomats, foreign nationals or whatever coming to meet with the king and discuss things and whatnot. And yes, so you walk down the hallway, you see room 5. You knock on the door, no one answers, and then you sort of open the door, no one's inside, so you can do as you wish.
Just grab a seat and wait.
Yeah, like would you have shown up early or?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you just wait like 10, 15 minutes before the agreed sort of time.
pretty much. Yeah, I'll read my book.
Yeah, and eventually somebody walks in. Um, somebody knocks on the door and says, "Do you respond when they knock on the door?" Or?
I go come in, as if it's my office.
Yeah. So this person sort of enters the room,
Was she one of the ones that came to the bar?
introduces herself, and says, "Hi, you're Sarah Knox Kebdebis." She looks at the paper that she has in front of her.
Cadivus, yes.
Yes, my name is Andigel, Justica Andigel. Um, I understand you're here to. Uh, you have something that you would like to show us?
Yes. My group was adventuring in a sort of the wrecked outer perimeter of Old Town. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's this old sort of large perimeter wall. Um, and while we were at the top of the bastion, we came across a chest, and inside the chest, and I'll pull out the 4 tabards. We came across these tabards with what looks like the Order of the Platinum Dragon symbol. I'm not sure if there's anything more to add about that, but I just felt like these should be returned to you as they seem to be yours. If you want to make anything of it, or yeah.
It's quite interesting. Let me have a look at that. And she sort of lays them out on the table in front of you. Yeah, they're quite interesting. They look quite old, actually. Where was it you found these?
So the outer sort of like perimeter wall of Old Town, um, they have this large, extremely large outer perimeter wall that's sort of been damaged and destroyed over time, and you know, it's generally just more of a ruin than a defense sort of perimeter anymore by the looks of it.
Okay. Oh yes, the old walls there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's possible. Some caches and supplies are still to be yet found in all those rooms. I mean, those walls are quite large and expansive, and we definitely don't have time to be sending people through there. So you just came across them, did you? And you decided to just hand them in.
Yeah, I didn't think that it was appropriate for someone to adorn them without the official title or association. So I thought that returning these seemed like the appropriate thing to do.
Um, yeah, we could take them off your hands for you.
Yeah,
Give you a small finder's fee if that's okay.
more than happy with that.
All right. They're really more like antiques, to be honest. Maybe we can do something with them. Put them in the archives or whatnot. Maybe display them in the barracks. We'll see what we can do with them. So we're willing to pay you for these. 5 gold apiece, if that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's no problems. And she starts filling out paperwork. And same shit as everywhere else. Gives you a receipt. um, and yeah, was there anything else?
No, that was all. I guess this is just the general process if we do come across more stuff.
Um, related to our organization specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of the best way to get in contact with us.
I tend to think that it's almost a punishable crime to adorn a tabard of the order without being associated to it, correct?
Yes, if you were to impersonate
Of
one of
course.
us, that would definitely be frowned upon.
Yeah, understandable. Okay, thank you. I will be off.
No worries. And she sort of sits there, sort of keeps filling out paperwork as she watches you leave. She turns her head as you sort of walk away, and as you get to the door, she says, Oh, sorry, just a moment. Do you mind if I just have a look at your sword there?
What level are we doing this at? Because I currently don't have a sword if we've leveled up.
What? What do you mean?
So packed weapon, it lives in a dimensional space now.
Okay, so this was sort of like one
Before?
day
Okay,
after.
then I'll show the sword.
It's quite interesting. Where'd you get this?
This was also with the goods, in the same sort of area of this sort of outpost.
Uh, do you intend on keeping it?
I have become quite fond of it, yes.
Okay. It's quite interesting. It's a very nice sword, and it's quite similar to something we use. It looks like it's a bit of an older style. Um,
Oh, really?
Perhaps you can hold on to it. That should be fine. I mean, it is an older style. We're not really using that sort of thing anymore. Um, but if you'd like, we can also reward you for that as well in finding it.
I am quite fond of it, but I will keep that in mind and ensure that I keep it in good condition.
All right, then. If you look after this blade, it should serve you well.
It has quite well so far. I must admit. It did get us out of quite a sticky jam once or twice.
That's good to know.
Hmm.
Take care of it, and it should take care of you.
I will do. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Good day.
Sarah, like, still a little bit more sort of like rigid. Not that anyone was there to witness it, but a lot more uncomfortable talking to the Justicar um,
Uh,
than
bef-
normal.
Before we do level, at some point, Aiden would have sat down with Sarah and asked what the hell was going on with the whole hanging of the head, looking very nervous while we were at the academy. That would have been shortly after that, not probably in a one-on-one situation if we ever find one of those.
Did you notice it though? Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I did. Just to ask, what was the Sarah? What was you seemed all very confident and collected, and I know I'm not great at picking up on social cues, but you seemed a bit. I don't know if nervous is the word, but I don't know. You hanging your head. You seemed ashamed. What's going on?
um, a story for another time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I look forward to hearing it one day then.
One day.
And that's the end of that conversation. Let's make
Roadblock.
A flashback in the memory as you're walking.
I used to take.
I'll give the 5G to everyone.
Oh, yeah, look, I have a little bit of money again.
They like the tabards, but they said we couldn't wear them. It's a crime. You'll go to jail for the rest of your life, and then they'll cut your hands off, and you will forever be known as a thief and a criminal and an impersonator of a distinguished order.
Insight check.
Deception. Ooh.
I cannot beat that. I have a +0 to my insight because I've.
I am very persuasive in my
I'm like,
deceitful.
holy shit! One able to wear someone else's fucking tabard. Wow.
Yes.
Fair enough. Sar, do you want to jump post time skip?
Yes.
Sarah doesn't wear a sword anymore.
Aiden's explained pretty well that he can't use any of his old healing powers, but now has access to some pretty strong psychic and ability to use those psychic powers to even like mold spells slightly differently.
So I
And
would openly show you that I can make my sword like blink out of nowhere into like existence. Like as like we'd go through the training days, I would have rocked up one day without my sword and been like, "Hey Ren, check this out," and just been like,
I would talk to Ren.
what? Mind blown! Sarah, what? How did you do that?
I just I had this really weird dream, and I had this thing that I don't know. I dreamt of and tried to do with my sword, and now it just like I can.
What? Oh my god. That is incredible. What are you eating or drinking to have those dreams, Sarah? Because I want those dreams.
What juice did she drink?
Um, and then like, can you just show that to me one more time, and I'll like kind of like lean my head like closer, just to see you summon it. Again.
And I'll like throw it away, and then it will just like vanish, and then I can go.
Whoa.
I thought I learned some cool new tricks, but that trumps me.
I'm just studying like you can see I'm intently looking at like each time you're like taking it out now. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Sarah, what would happen if I can you summon the sword? I want to test something. And I'm going to use my invisible mage hand from telekinetic, and I'm going to try and grab it and pull it out of your hand. I just want to see what happens when it's like yanked from your grasp.
You just take it.
So it's still just floating there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still a computer, like it's a fully solid sword.
and I'm
You're
just going to
holding.
make. So like you can't, so it's an invisible mage hand, so it looks like it's just floating around, like he's like telekinetic controlling it. Like, can you pull it back now that I've got my hand on it?
Yeah. Is that like frozen or was that?
Oh no! What? Can you pull the sword back now that I've got my hand on it? Like, does
Yeah.
it have,
Yeah, I just and it vanishes from your hand and reappears in mine.
like, oh, that's cool. That's useful. Maybe next time
Definitely.
maybe next time we all end up in prison, you can just you'll have stuck a sword in. Oh come on, you guys know it's a matter of when, not if.
Um,
So as you're sort of all hanging around, I don't know where are you right now?
Wherever
I,
whatever
yeah.
room we're staying in, I guess.
So as you're sort of all just hanging around in the inn or whatnot, you notice coming from Ren's bag or pocket, the stone is sort of vibrating and making noise.
This is the one from the privateers, right?
Yeah.
That's a stupid question. We only have one.
Hello, Ren speaking.
It's just like a sending spell, like a message. And it just says Ark's adventuring party and group. You are required to meet Master Loranus at the Arcane Institute today at 4 p.m. if you could.
Did we all hear that, or just Ren?
just Ren.
Whoever's holding the rock.
Like imagine we're drinking in the tavern like now at this time, and I like drink the rest of my like my ale and like plonk it down on the table and go get my two swords and go it's go time, and then like put them, yeah. It's go time, guys, and then walk out the door and then go, oh, we just got called by the privateers, we gotta go and report to them.
Thanks, Ren. I'll finish my beer and be like, oh, and get up and start moseying along. Oh, actually, the one thing before, or possibly I stood up for a minute. Sarah, did Sarah give out all the cloaks?
Yeah.
Are they pretty? With
3 days later.
So were they were black with white
So
lacing?
they're black, like main sort of body of cloak. They've got like a white trim on the outside that sort of just like spirals around in a circle, and in the center we've just got like a large tree that represents our hometown.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, well
I'm
done.
like looking, I'm like, these are Cool as.
I'm going to add that to my equipment.
One day we'll get nicer ones, but I just thought for now at least we can be associated. And for Kai, I've got him a headband with the same tree symbol that he could choose
Oh,
as like a headband or an armband because he's got a cloak that he can make look like ours if he so chooses.
hidden Eastfield clan.
Yes, hidden village in the east.
All right. So what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm imagining it'd be almost time to go there, so we just make our way there, right?
Where are you going?
To
Where
the
do you want us to go?
Where was that?
To the privateers association.
was it? Oh no! Did I forget?
No. Oh yeah, where are we going, Red?
Hey, we don't know. Ren, where are we going?
Uh, crap. Can we rewind and then can I recall?
No. Where are you going?
God, Ren.
The privateer.
Okay.
Can I use a sending stone?
No.
Ah, god damn it!
So you arrive at the hall. It's sort of like getting to the evening now. Everything's sort of starting to slow down. There's not many people in there. There's no one at the counter at the moment.
As we walk, I'm just gonna say. So Ren, who summoned us?
I don't know, some guy. Jeez.
Someone else needs to take the stone. All right, we'll go to the privateers hall.
Hello, anyone here?
What?
Well, if we're in the privateers hall, I'll just call out.
What do you call out? Sorry, what?
Hello, we've been summoned.
There's like only like 3, 4, 5 people in there. The hall's quite large. Like I said, it was sort of getting towards the end of the day, and everyone who's just sort of standing around looks at you, and then Hamill is actually there. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Hamill's there. He
god.
says, "Oh, Sarah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
How have you been?
Good.
Seems we missed each other at the hall.
Yeah, I
Just
didn't
not
see
long
you
ago."
there. There was all that commotion, and then you just weren't anywhere to be found. Like, I thought you would have jumped in at like the first chance to help that damsel in distress. What, like?
Oh no, I wasn't there. I heard something that happened, but I turned up much later.
Oh, and you missed the concert. I didn't see you there either. We were partying all night.
Yes.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Did he stand me up?
I don't
Fuck, that was a pretty shit insight check. I don't know what being stood up is.
Yeah, you just seem like he seemed nervous about it, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, you're not really sure.
Hmm.
He wasn't confident in his answer for sure.
Yeah. I hope you don't hold all your dates like that. Anyway, we've just been summoned, so I'm sorry, but we really do have to go. Maybe we can catch up another time.
Yeah, of course. No worries. And you just sort of walk off, I guess, right?
I just walk like past like Ren and Aiden like with like real purpose and like
I turn around and be like, "Lovers quarrel."
we're gonna make babies and he didn't show.
Did Sarah just say it, like over her shoulder?
No, I'm just stirring. She says it with her telekinesis. Ah!
I'll respond back with, "Can't believe I'm gonna say this, but you could do better."
I know. Anyway, continue.
So what do? You go up to the counter or something?
Yeah, I'm looking for someone and say that I was summoned.
Hello. Yes, I heard you scream that you were summoned. What for exactly?
I was contacted in this stone thing that you gave me, and apparently I had to meet someone at 4, but I forgot who and where.
Let me just check with some of the other clerks. See. Sorry, your name?
Oh, we are the Arcs. The Arcs.
The Arcs Adventuring Group, I guess. Okay, let me see. And then she walks off and she goes into some of the back rooms and stuff, and she comes back with another lady, and she says, "Oh, Arcs, did you get our message?"
I got yes, but I forgot half of it.
Well, that's not good, is it? It was only about 20 words long.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
Yes. Well, you were asked to meet. Fuck, I forgot his name already.
You should have just called him John.
Fred. Kevin.
Laurenus. You asked to meet Master Laurenus at the Institute, I believe. That was the message.
Oh, Lonerus. Oh, I mean, Master Lonerus. Yes.
It's Master Lord.
Oh, yes.
Lord Anus.
It says here on the transcript 4 p.m. It looks like it's just about 4 p.m. now.
Guys, we gotta run.
I guess we're running.
All right, make athletics checks.
Hey, here we go.
Oh, this is going to be terrible.
This is great.
Oh, that's fantastic, considering I now have a -2 to fucking strength.
A 3.
Oh, no, hold on, what's nine?
Can someone roll for key?
I know, because lost that sheet.
Don't worry about it. All right, what do we got? 3, 14, and 70. What's that? 21 plus 3 is 24, is it?
Yeah, 34. 34 divided, so it'd be 11 point something if you round it out.
All right, so you're able to sort of start sprinting and heading towards the institute. Sarah sort of falls behind a little bit, 10 feet behind, 20 feet behind. As you sort of get up you start to pass the bank, and Sarah's now 200 feet behind or so. You turn the corner and you see the institute there, and you sort of rush up the steps and into the main foyer.
God damn it, Ren.
Sarah's not quite there yet. You two sort of run into the foyer.
It was
we run to the, I guess, to Basel.
Make a perception check.
Is that both of us? Then?
Yeah, both of us, I suppose.
Oh, fuck.
You guys are so out of breath. You're sort of just staring at the ground, sort of breathing really heavily, and there's a lot of people around. It's sort of, everyone's sort of starting to leave, but everyone's sort of making their way through the halls and busy doing last minute things as everyone's sort of ready to go into the evening. And it's about that time when Sarah rocks up behind you and she's like, "Oh God."
I prestidigitation myself as we walk in to like make myself look all composed.
You sort of even just take a seat on the top of the steps there in here and try to get your breath back.
We go further. Can we go further in? Just so.
Yeah, but Sarah needs a moment, so just.
I'm just getting myself together.
I use disguise self on myself, and I disguise myself as myself, just not covered in sweat and looking like shit.
Okay. You cast a spell in the town. Okay.
Didn't you say the spells were fine in here?
No.
Sorry, just cast one. No one said a fucking thing.
As soon as you start to wave your hands around and whatnot, the couple of magic users down here just
stepping away from him.
They notice it and immediately cast counterspell on it.
And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
What do you think you're doing there, citizen?
Would you believe if I said I was casting disguise self on myself so I didn't look like I was covered in sweat because my idiotic friend forgot where we were supposed to be going?
No, I wouldn't believe that.
Proudly wearing my glistening, sweating body.
Is that the?
Because it's now ripped.
Can I do a persuasion check on that?
Sure.
$23.
Like I said, I don't really care or believe what you were doing. Just don't do it again, yeah?
Okay.
And they sort of start to walk back down the steps.
That was your fault, Ren.
You do
Sarah,
know that you're not supposed to cast spells in here. I mean, you did go here for like how many weeks?
4 weeks, but I also wasn't taking any sort of magic course. Taught me how to
fair
lie.
enough.
Sarah's now sort of joining you and says, "Well, uh, Sarah can make a perception check now if she wants. Where do we have to go?" She says, "I guess to you guys. I don't know."
8. Where to?
Let's go further in. We might be able to see them in there.
Yeah, you guys just seem lost, so you start wandering in. As you get to sort of here, you see the two masters in the middle of the hall here, and they don't look pleased, to say the least.
I run in.
And they wave at you and they say, "Come on then, hurry along. What took you so long?"
I may there was some type of disturbance in the message. I don't know if there was maybe like a black spot or something. I don't know. Maybe sort of the weaves didn't align quite enough, and I only got part of the message. So to maybe find out where you actually were.
DC plus it, sir.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Deception?
That is a deception.
Oh, deception.
100% it's not actually.
And
Laurenus just sort of looks at Master Azora, and she looks back at him, and they're like, they sort of take a long blink and a heavy breath in, and they're like, they don't really say anything.
Knowing that a sending spell like goes directly into your head.
Okay then. Stand on the symbol on the floor for us, will you? And then the master sort of taps her staff on the ground that she's holding a couple times, and suddenly this all around your feet the ground starts to glow and shapes start to appear, and then a flash of light
whoa,
and whatnot, and you're instantly teleported or transferred
that
to
was cool as.
just outside the back room here. And she says, "Okay, let me have a look at yourself real quick. Oh, you all look terrible. You look terrible. All right, well, I guess it'll do.
I can fix that if you allow me.
There's no time. Don't say anything unless spoken to. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. She looks very heavily at all four of you. Is that understood? Just give me some sort of nod or recognition, if you would.
I'm just going to telepathically say to Sarah, do you think they can hear us talking like this?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you aware of what I just said? Are you paying attention? Okay. Again, don't speak unless spoken to. And she opens the door, leads you in, and they motion for you to move around to the bottom of the table here, and they take a spot on the left side, and you see in front of you 3 people who are somewhat well dressed. They have an air of nobility to them, and they're sort of discussing something quite intently and quite seriously. And say the one in the middle sort of speaks up and says, "Ah, Master Azora, are these the people who brought you that information?" She responds and says, "Yes, my prince. These are them." Well, have you had time to talk to them at all about what we've been discussing? And she says, "No, unfortunately, they seem to be a bit of tardiness in their time getting here." Um, well, that's concerning. He sort of replies, and sort of like whispers over his shoulder to this other guy on the right, and he's like, I don't know. Well then, let's not drag this out, I guess. Um, you bought something to us of quite specific and special interest. Um, we would like to know every sort of detail, if you could just go over it for us, because we haven't necessarily heard it from you. Where did you receive this item from again? And the prince in the middle sort of looks over you, looking for someone to answer.
I'll nudge Sarah.
We're on our way from Eastfield to Old Town, and we're approached by a stranger in the night who referred to himself as the Admiral. He asked us about sort of our plans on venturing and our intent, and asked that because we were heading to Port Royal, that we delivered the ring to the Institute, and didn't really give us more direction outside of that, my lord.
And just a quick description. What did this man look like?
He was an elderly gentleman, quite sort of ruggish, well built. He had sort of quite whitish grey beard. He was wearing a sort of bandana sort of thing with a large like brimmed cap. He looked like he was wearing some sort of like captain's sort of tunic with an adornment of war medals or that.
Interesting.
He had a pipe and a number of rings as well.
All right then. Helios. Maybe we'll leave it here then. Yes. And Helios just nods back to Tagirius, if you would. And they start to sort of leave the room. They walk around past you and out of the door that you guys came in. And then Helios sort of moves around a bit to the center. Says, "Well, here's the deal. You're quite inexperienced, quite clumsy, and quite inept at your ability to even show up on time, and that doesn't really fill me with great confidence at all. And the fact that something like this has come across, come before you, is astounding to say the least. You see this message we've received. It speaks the name of a Magus Astradum. That person has not served at the Institute for quite some time. And we had to do quite extensive research going back through our archives, centuries, to even find reference to the name being spoken. The other references made, such as the Whim Speaker and the Chromatic Kings, are something that we are not too familiar with. No one really is sure. But we did find something in the royal archives themselves, kept within the castle, of a reference towards a chromatic king. And let me just tell you about what we found. What we did find is a document of the time recording the history of what seems to be the islands themselves. And it speaks of the. Let me just show it to you. And he sort of shows you this parchment and places it on the table in front of you and reads it aloud. And this is pretty much the gist of what's in it. So you can take that as you would. Approximately 1,045 years ago, they arrived on the Hyperion shores and plunged the land into a conflict that would last some 40 years. The people of the land were fractured, each part of the isles beset by a different chromatic king. And then it references the shogun of Datang that sort of led us to something else that we have we found quite hard to find any references in our archives at all to it. It was only from reaching out to other institutes around the Isles of their archives and records of what they had that we were able to find another piece, which I will show you now. It references, this is all we can find, and we were sent a copy of the original text from the township of Masami. They are quite an old town and have quite extensive archives. And this is sort of the only reference we were able to find. So back to the original document, the Shogun of Datang, in a last-ditch effort to win the war, made a pact with the Platinum Dragons Vault and other settlements that dot the landscape, the details of which are unknown. The parchment sort of is expunged and it doesn't seem to exist. And we can sort of ascertain from that it's this so-called war that happened so long ago resulted in the political landscape as the Isles look at this present time. And that's about all we've come to at this point in time. We've also tried to find any more references relating to different areas. We did the references of different areas of the Isles beset by chromatic kings. We did find references to old battle maps and the like that sort of have sort of battle lines drawn, and sort of they're maps with like symbols of troop installations and castles and things. And what we're able to ascertain is something similar to this. We noticed that there is a heavy presence of military sort of maps and whatnot and records that relate to these three different points on this map here. And that's about all we've been able to find. Now, what we're looking for from you, what we're really looking for, we're not sure. And we're not quite sure that you're the people that we're looking for to even take on this task. But we do know that should we enlist any more people to this cause, it could become something that might unravel before our very eyes. And since you do have knowledge of such a thing, you're sort of all we have to go on at this moment. If we were to send a fleet of Marines or a regiment of Marines to investigate such a thing, headed by a Tempesta, these just little bits of information that we have found may just end up at a dead end. And since you already have knowledge of such a thing, I understand you're somewhat capable, but obviously not very, considering you showed up late. We would like you to investigate these areas and see if you can find any activity relating to any references relating to a chromatic king or a shogun or the like, or any sort of old war relics that might point you in the direction of some more information that we are looking for at this time. What do you think of that? Do you think you are capable? Do you think you are able? Do you think you are competent enough to do so at the behest of the king and the crown?
I step forward at this point, and then my normal sort of dumb self is like not really sort of as visible and I'm more focused, and I'm like, we might not seem like much, but I can tell you now that we are committed to this, and we'll give it up our all, and we won't give up. Let us prove it to you.
What say the rest of you?
I'll look at Sarah, who's gone a bit quiet. I'll just be like, I'll just look forward and go, look, this seems like a good enough place for us to start our adventuring cruise in. It seems important. Just point us in the direction you want us to go, and we will do everything in our power to find out whatever you need to know and take care of business.
Let me be clear. What you know, nobody else does besides the people who were in this room. And we would like to keep it that way. And as he sort of says that, he waves his hand over the table, and it sort of draws little arcane circles sort of appear over the table and sort of indicates to these three different sort of areas that were indicated in the archives of heavy military activity that they came across. And they said, travel to these destinations, investigate whatever you can relating to such a chromatic kings, and if you find something, you can always get in contact with us here at the Institute.
And at that point, something clicks in my head, and I say, wait, and I start rummaging through our bags and to find that map that we found.
Okay.
And then I place it on the middle of the map table, like so that everyone can see, and like to show that if the markings on that map align with what they've found in their studies. And I say, this map we found on our first I guess adventure, they seem to line up.
It was a missing child we were looking for in Eastfield. We dealt with some. Well, at the time, we assumed they were just bandits.
When was
No.
this?
A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
2.5 months ago, give or take.
Not more than 3 months ago.
Around Eastfield.
Yeah,
Eastfield.
just north.
They had taken up. They had taken up a residence in an abandoned watch tower, and they seem to have been planning something. Not quite sure what it was, but they definitely looked more than just
I believe we
irregular.
gave a fairly detailed statement to what was his name? Emmanuel Frost, I believe, the Watchmaster of Eastfield. He would still have, if you're looking for very accurate details, we'll say, which was right after the facts, that would probably be the best bet.
You see Laurenus sort of scribing these details on some parchment that you're sort of saying. So you found this map there, did you?
was
Yes,
in a, it
in
was in
their
a room.
hideout.
It was in a room. They were quite aggressive, and I don't know, something seemed not quite right about them. I couldn't put my finger on it at the time, but maybe this was it.
I also present them a key that I found, which was like that sort of the nice looking key that I never found a thing to open, like that whatever it could open. I say I also found this key, and I'm not sure what it could open, if it was anything there. Nothing I could find, but it looks important.
It does look quite nice, and Laurenus sort of says, "May I have a look?"
I hand it to him.
He takes it from you and says, "Ah, I know what this is." And he sort of describes what it does. Um, you have the description for that item.
The description, the key, it's just a 5% chance to open anything, is it? Something like
Yeah, something like that.
Actually, I'm gonna know. Oh, actually, we did find one other thing. I didn't think much of it at the time. And he'll turn to Kai and go, Kai, that pin I gave you recently. What days are you home? Show him that.
Kai sort of takes it out and hands it over, lays it on the table. Everyone sort of leans in and has a look at it. Interesting, indeed. Laurenus sort of quickly sketches it on the parchment that he has. Do you mind if I keep this? Where did you find this?
I believe one of the bandits had it on him off the top of my head. It was you'd asked me to remember something from months ago.
Same place you found the map.
Yeah, same place I found the map. Yeah.
All right. Do you mind? Can I hold on to this?
Technically, it's not mine anymore, but I'm going to assume Kai's fine with this.
Let's assume so. All right then. That's interesting bits of information that you have provided. Is there anything else?
Besides, we kind of ran into a wolf there that took a bite out of them, and ever since we had encountered them and that wolf took a bite out of them, he kind of changed, and now he can breathe fire.
I'm sorry, what? A wolf that breathes fire?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that happened too.
That's alarming.
I'm not sure if they have any relation at all, but it seemed to have happened after he had taken bites out of them.
Out of these bandits that you speak of?
I think they were some type of high-level mercenaries. I don't think they look like your ordinary bandits.
All right.
And they were looking for something,
Interesting.
and
Near
they didn't find it, whatever it was.
Well, that would mean they possibly have already investigated this one here, and whatever they are after was perhaps not there. And he sort of points to the circle near Eastfield.
Did we have another look in that area?
That circle, the one near Eastfield you're pointing out, that wasn't where we were. We were much more south than that.
Oh, you did. You weren't in this area.
It was 20 minutes away. Like it was literally
20 minutes
next to
north of
Eastfield.
There's no way we were that far in the forest where that circle is. Like we would have been, and he'll walk up to the map and point, and I'm going to point to like here. You know, actually,
It's hard to see in that one anyway.
we were about here.
Interesting.
But there's a chance that they were there and they had ventured more south, so it could be connected.
Well, judging from that, perhaps the other two might be better first targets to go after. I'm not too sure.
I'm happy to hunt for any of them, but do you have the means to maybe get us a bit closer? It's pretty far. Like that'll take us a month to walk that.
Like I said, we want to keep this low key. If you could use your own means for this, that is what we would prefer. We could allocate funds for you to attain transport.
That was what I was about to ask. Could we allocate funds to maybe get our hands on a boat to maybe if we sail from here to here?
We're willing to pay you 100 gold a month
Each?
together.
Yeah, worth a shot. Ren, what do you think?
I'm already in this.
I guess the question is, and I'll look to the rest of the party, and by that I mean Ray. Where do we start?
Well, like I suggested, perhaps some of the other circles on this map.
That
That might be the best bet.
that was what I meant. So I meant, do we want to start in a mountain or a forest across the water?
Yeah, I think we'll go across the water for now.
Our best course of action.
We're closer to it, so in terms of being able to get to it faster, possibly than up a mountain.
So is there any chance we could get that first month's payment now, so we could procure a bit of a sea travel across?
Well, they're going to pay for the travels. Is that correct?
Paying us 100 gold a month, which will cover the travels.
100 gold should cover anything you need for your travels. If you do actually find anything, of course, there will be extra payments that can be allocated. I think your choice of this hilly area near Kuzunawa is probably better. The mountain range can be inhospitable. How do I say it?
Hospitable.
Inhospitable. I can't fucking say it. At times, thank you. And could prove maybe something more challenging.
So across the water we go then?
Might be the best choice.
Across the water we go then.
He looks towards Azora and Lorinus and says, "Do you two have anything to add?" And they sort of shake their heads. Nope. All right then. They'll lead you out. Thank you for your time. And he just sort of flashes and disappears. Teleports out of there.
My eyes go wide.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
All right then. Lorinus starts to write out a writ of requirement. Hands it to you. Here's 100 gold. Take this to the office downstairs, where you register. They'll be able to pay you. Could also hand it in at the bank, and that'll be your first month's pay. Hopefully, we'll see you in a month, and we'll be able to pay you for the next month then. And he sort of walks you out, motions you to sort of follow him out the door. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And sort of leads you back out. Sort of talks with you about everything that sort of happened, and leads you back out to the sort of the grand foyer, and and says, "Well then, good luck on your journeys. Keep your heads down. You're not necessarily looking for anything specific, but anything you do find, if it's urgent, you can send a message to the association, and they'll get in contact with me. And if not, I'll see you in a month."
Thank you, Lord Lorinias. We won't let you down.
Yes, Lord Lazarus, we appreciate it.
He just shakes his head and sighs.
No.
I don't think this is going to work, he mutters to himself. And starts to walk away.
It's awesome. so good.
Uh,
I'm getting hints of freaking One Piece now, man. Fucking
One Piece? Why One Piece?
go across the ocean and we're a bunch of idiots.
It's not too far. It's just across the bay.
Okay, cool. Mini One Piece.
We still are crossing the ocean and we are a bunch of idiots. It's not that part is 100% correct.
Nah, the waters are calm in the bay. It's fine. It's fine.
I think he's more referring to the pack of fucking idiots that are doing it.
Oh, definitely a pack of idiots. 100%.
Oh god.
Shall we, guys?
What time in the day is it?
This would now be evening. It would be getting dark now. Because it was 4 o'clock. You probably were in the meeting for an hour. Probably another. Probably like 20 minutes, half an hour when the prince was there, and then like an hour probably chatting with them all after that. Just the majors, and then yeah.
Make life easy to save having a role play. Just say we go and organise transport across the bay for the next day, and then we'll head back and rest before we head out in the morning.
Oh yeah, you can hand in your receipt and get some gold there as well.
Why don't we just split it after we take out the price of the boat?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
How much is a trip across the thing going to cost us?
Did I write that anywhere? Probably not.
Shall we leave early in the morning, get some supplies if we need to before we go?
I'm still pretty topped up on rations. We've been eating pretty well over here. I don't think I need much, but I can't speak for everyone else. So yeah, maybe get a good night. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Maybe get a good night's rest and head out and get some supplies and head out in the morning.
So it looks like it's about 5 squares across the bay. So probably just a gold per square charge you.
So 5 gold.
Yeah, it's easy enough to book like a quick passage on a ferry that travels across, and it doesn't take 5 days to get across. It because the boat travels constantly for 24 hours, and it's a little bit faster than walking as well. So it only really takes.
Would it have been better to go at nighttime, or boats wouldn't have operate at nighttime, would they? Or they would?
You could probably you catch it one day at midday, and you'll get there midday the next day easily.
Okay, cool.
Sort of like an overnight crossing, sort of like the Spirit of Tasmania.
It's hilarious.
All right, well, so it was 25 gold each, and you said it was about 5 gold there, so we can each add 23 gold, 75. So
It would have been 5 gold each for the passage.
Oh, 5 gold each. Okay, so we'll add 20. So everyone add 20 gold to the sheet.
Yeah, I'd probably put that in the thing as well.
So if you have 100, so 75 between
Oops.
4 of you, right?
I deleted mine. It's all good, right? Yeah. So we'd end up with 20 gold each and our trip paid for with such. All right. Considering Yar's currently tied up and it's 11, should we call it there and start the next one as we head across?
Yeah, that's a bit about where.
Yeah, probably.
Good session for one with 0 fighting.
Oh yeah, you don't have to have fighting every time.
No, of course not. It was a good session. Had fun.
This was definitely the most lore-heavy session there probably would ever be, I think. That's about, you've got the big chunk of what you need to know, I think.
Yeah, I've taken some notes, but I probably have to rewatch a couple of things.
Oh, we can rewatch a couple of things, but like the good thing about SARS campaign is that if I need to look up the chromatic kins, it's in the fucking thing. So,
Yeah, I saw that.
It takes notes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to also Watch back and remember what the fuck I said.
That was fucking awesome though. Like some of the stuff, man, that was sick as.
Well, hopefully,
So you know what I need to hear? I can't finish until I hear it.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Oh.
Hey,
Alright.
so against all odds, by making me stay a Kalisha, I think I got stronger.
Huh?
That's fucking
By
hilarious.
getting me to stay as a Kalishata, I got stronger.
What? Why?
Because no feat could give me resistance to psychic damage and advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Ooh.
Like the only thing I've lost there is that I was going to boost my con and strength up to get them a bit higher, but the Kalisha let me boost all my other stats the way I wanted to, except strength. I'm like, well, I don't really care about strength. I'll just be a bit weaker. It's just the effect of having all his powers like destroyed out of his body. He's physically weaker now.
Turned into a good session at the end, I think, overall.
Yeah, no, that was
I
awesome.
think it was a good one. Like we got a lot done. It got a lot of backstory and more done. Had some laughs.
Fucking me forgetting what the what he said on the sending shit. Fucking hell, man.
As soon as you said, "Oh yeah, well, let's go to the privateers," and like, okay, how do I play with this?
And I was like for a minute, I'm like, oh, Ray, what have you done?
Yeah, so he just assumed straight away it was privateers, and I was like, oh fuck, wait, what did he say again? I'm like, fuck, which dark alley did he say to meet, and who the fuck was it?
Just so you know, one of my spells I have picked up now is going to be a. Let's just say there's going to be some size when I use it. I've got
What
Tasha's
is it?
hideous laughter, so I'm going to have to say some shit jokes every single time I use it. He's going to hey Ren, what do you call someone else's cheese?
What?
Nacho cheese.
What's
Well,
nacho?
Laurinus just gets a shiver down his spine, and he's like, "Ugh. What the hell is that?"
So for your info, if you're ever trying to use my sheet, I've got some spells here that are named other spells. The class I've got it gives me extra spells, and I can swap them out each level to something else of the same level. But there's no ability on fucking D&D Beyond to do it, so I've just renamed it to what it is and put in notes what the actual spell does. Because I can't change like this will say it's a strength saving throw, but it's actually a wisdom and that sort of shit.
What?
Okay, so with this class at level 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 or something, it gets extra spells. Like it gets spells from the class, and each level you can swap out one of those spells to another spell from, I think it's like enchantment or illusion from the wizard, warlock, or sorcerer spell list. So I've done that for 2 of the spells, but there's no way on D&D Beyond to do it.
What's the name of the spell?
The spell I had was, well, I've swapped. I can't remember what it was called, to Tasha's hideous laughter, and I swapped calm emotions to suggestion. So if you look at my list, like I've got the spell's name there, but like suggestion will say it's a charisma saving throw. It's not. It's actually a wisdom.
Go to edit character. And what level does that happen at?
Well, you can do that every level.
What?
You can do that every level. No, I've looked it up. You can't do it on D&D Beyond. Like it's actually, I looked it up because I'm like, how the fuck do you do it? I looked it up and they said they haven't implemented it yet. So what it is, if you look at my psionic spells, it's my level 1 feature. It says you learn additional spells when you reach certain levels, yada yada yada. Whenever you gain a sorcerer level, you can replace one spell you gain from this feature with another spell of the same level. The new spell must be a divination or enchantment spell from the sorcerer warlock or wizard list. There's no way to actually change those spells out, so I've just renamed them to what I've changed it to. So Arms of Hadar is now Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and Calm Emotions is now Suggestion. If that makes sense. So if anyone ever uses my sheet, you've got to just check that like those two are actually wisdom saving throws, but on my sheet it says it's a strength and a charisma saving throw. There's no way I can I put that in notes that it's changed, but I can't actually change it on the sheet because I think it was Tasha's isn't actually a spell a sorcerer usually gets. I only get it because I can swap it from a wizard spell because it's a wizard enchantment spell. Anyways, I think it's time to call it, but good session, and I'm looking forward to the next one, especially because I'm going to miss the one after that.
I'm really liking the dynamic that Ren has with Laurenus. It's fucking hilarious. Fucking sick.
He fucking hates you, right? The man despises you.
It's on, man. He loves Ren.
Good session. I look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye.
Latest. Hope Yaz alright. Or Yaz or Erica's.
He said he had to go on the phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh no. All good. All good. What spell was Aaron talking about? That was confusing.
I don't know. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh gosh. Well, thanks, son.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That was a pretty good session, man.
Yeah, I hope it was alright.
I like the little things that you did with the rooms and stuff and the teleporting. That was sick.
Yeah.
How'd you even do that? How do you even do like the little? I'm guessing there are like little gifts. Is it?
Yeah, it's this thing on the left. Do you see it? It looks like a lightning bolt.
In like the tools tab.
Yeah, where the pointer and the drawing tool is and all that. Under the drawing tool, there's like a lightning bolt.
No, I don't see that.
Okay, maybe only GMs have it. It's just like this
Yeah.
little thing that you can do.
Oh, that's cool as.
Yeah. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I'll use that as an effect for this. Yeah. I don't know. I'm hungry.
All right, cool, man. Can't wait till. Oh no, Yazzie.
Huh?
Sorry.
No, all good. I think we finished up anyway because you would obviously.
Yeah,
gone.
I figured.
Yeah, it was all pretty much done anyway.
I'll rewatch
Yeah.
what I missed.
Yeah, it was only like 5-10 minutes of dialogue.
Yeah, basically in a nutshell, we agreed to go and investigate the things, that those circle things that like we saw on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like they had researched and then like they had found, like they had found those without us showing them the map, and then I was like, pulled out the map and put it on the table, and it's like, oh fuck, they line up.
We've already got our own map. That's
So
cool.
now we're going across to here
Which one?
to
Oh yeah, cool. The cave. Cave of
yeah,
Wonders.
Cave of Wonders. Is that really what it's called? It's not called that, is it?
No. I
Fucking
don't know, maybe it is.
call me the fucking Cave of Death, man.
More likely
Um,
Cave of Death, yes.
Cave of TPK, man.
I made a mistake, sir. I can only do my ritual on magic weapons, but I can make
Really?
any other normal weapon appear. But if you're happy, I prefer just to use that sword as my pact weapon.
What do you mean?
The whole disappearing, reappearing sword thing.
You can do that on any weapon.
No,
Yeah, is it?
you can also transform a magic weapon into your pact weapon by performing a special ritual.
Yeah, but
Also,
you also.
right?
Yeah.
So it could be any weapon,
It's
right?
saying you can create a pact weapon in your hand. You choose the form, you're proficient with it, and it counts as magical.
Yeah, oh, that's right. That's what I remember. So it doesn't have to. You don't have to make any weapons for at that level. You just make any weapons you want.
Mm.
Yeah. So like unless you want to make your magic weapon, like get a magic weapon, and
But
yeah, yeah,
I
I get what you
prefer to
mean.
use the sword, like just because
Yeah.
it is somewhat associated. So anyway,
Where is it? Pact of the Blade?
create pact weapon. As an
Yeah.
action, you can create a pact weapon in your hand. Choose the form you're
Is
proficient
that
with
under
it.
Hexblade or is it the class feature?
I think it's a class feature, isn't it? Is it a class
Yeah,
feature?
yeah, it's a class feature.
Pact of the Blade, right?
Yeah.
Blade.
Back to the blade. Yeah.
As an action, you can create a pact weapon in your hand, you choose the form, you're proficient with it, and it counts as magical. You can also transform a magic weapon into a pact weapon by performing a special ritual. I would like to think, even if though it's not magical, I would have done this with this weapon. Um,
It's meaningful.
yeah, I like the sword. I also like the idea of not having to carry it, knowing that I can like by doing this ritual, I can push something into like extra
Pocket
dimensional
dimension.
space. Yeah.
Pocket dimension. I was telling Sa, I'm really liking this dynamic. If you watch back on the dynamic between Ren and Laurenus, it's fucking hilarious. Fucking, I was having a ball with that.
What? I thought when you kept fucking up the name, I thought that was sort of contributing to the like you were looking for the intelligence headband and you were sort of playing up that you were kind of retarded because you didn't have that headband or something. You know, I was thinking like, was I right or no?
Just trying to play up that because of like obviously my lower intelligence than usual for your regular wizards, that like I can't focus as well, and like obviously there's holes in my ability to be able to like retain like spell information and stuff.
like speech.
Not
Like
necessarily, not necessarily speech, but probably that probably contributes to it.
uh,
Yeah. Hence why he's obviously, trying to hide his intelligence. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're happy, I would just make this sword my pact weapon, though not
yeah,
magical.
like if you can do it to a magical item, why the fuck can't you do it to a regular item? That's
Yeah.
stupid.
I think they're trying to say that so you don't have to make it, but they probably could have worded it a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the whole idea is that like, oh, you don't need a weapon to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
it,
if you get a
that's it.
magic weapon that you really like, and it's like, well, I don't want to use my packed weapon, but I don't want to lose this thing. This is how you merge those two. The only
Yeah.
thing it won't work for is an artifact.
Why?
You can't affect an artifact or a sentient weapon. In this way, the weapon ceases to be in your pact if you die, if you perform the 1-hour ritual on a different weapon, or if you use 1-hour ritual to break your bond to it. The weapon appears at your feet. It's in the extra mental space when the bond breaks.
Alright.
Yeah,
After the Blade Man, so fun.
I just like the idea of being able to feel like I need my sword like on
Yeah.
command.
Every time freaking Travis did it, it was like shh. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's